Well, live from Jackie Robinson Ballpark here in beautiful downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for a doubleheader here of Bethune-Cookman baseball against Alabama State here on the CatEye Network. My name is Michael Cirillo. Happy to have your company. I've got BCU guru Daryl Natil alongside me in commentary today. Daryl, after a really exciting win last night, it's going to be a tough one today. Doubleheader, pitching staff shorthanded. What do the Wildcats need to do to take this series?
Cats need to jump out early on this team. You know, we were looking forward to playing them here in this series, and the Cats came back last night after trailing most of the baseball game and won on a walk-off single to left field. So tonight, this afternoon, Ernie Banks used to say, hey, let's play 2, let's play 3. Heck, let's play all day. But I think the Cats need to jump out early here this afternoon and keep the momentum.
I spoke to head coach Johnny Hernandez before today's game to get his thoughts on last night's win and how they're going to attack this doubleheader. I'm here with Coach Hernandez before the Wildcats take on Alabama State. Doubleheader today on Saturday with the approach of rain tomorrow. Coach, big win last night, but as you said to me in the post game, it doesn't matter. It's in the past. Got to move on. Got 2 today.
Absolutely. You know, obviously, you know, it was a great win for us yesterday to set the tone for the series. But, you know, with 2 games on deck, we have to do everything possible to have an opportunity to take one today, whether that's the first one or the second one today. It doesn't matter. It's all hands on deck to, you know, be able to hopefully win the series against Alabama State.
You told me last night that you're going to bump Sanchez up to the first game today and then have a bullpen day maybe in the third game. Does that put more pressure on you guys to maybe win game 2 behind your one remaining weekend starter that's healthy?
I don't think that there's pressure. I think it's excitement, right? I think that the guys are going to have a lot of confidence, you know, with Edwin on the mound, with the success that he's had for us on Sundays. You know, Sanchez is not a stranger to pitching on Saturdays. You know, he threw against FAMU on a Saturday due to Easter, getting bumped up a day. So, you know, just looking for Edwin to just give him some length today. You know, we're going to need some length. But, again, I don't think it's added pressure. I think if the offense does what it needs to do, as we saw last night, whether it took a little bit longer than expected, you know, we'll be in good shape today.
Something I didn't get a chance to ask you last night was how your team responded against Jafet Martinez, one of the top relievers in the SWAC. You jumped all over him. He only got 1 out and gave up 5 runs.
Yeah, I mean, especially with an arm like that. I mean, that's probably one of the better relievers in the conference, rightfully so, with the stuff that he's has. So I think that also builds confidence, right, in our offense, knowing that, you know, we were able to, you know, get him out within 10, 15 pitches. And I think that's the most runs he's given up in a relief outing all year after what the offense did last night. So we just got to carry that momentum to today, you know, and I think that there's a lot of confidence in the locker room. There's a lot of confidence in that offensive side of things, and we're just looking for Edwin to give us an opportunity. But definitely, you know, it's good that we did what we did yesterday.
Bama State's going to swing the bat. We know that. Their batting average is tops in the conference. What can you do, pitching and defense-wise, to try and limit some of the things we saw yesterday?
Well, I think we got to get ahead with strike 1. And then whenever we're in a situation where we can put hitters away, we have to be able to hit our spots. I think yesterday we got in trouble, probably got in trouble a little bit, not hitting his spots. But like you said, it is a really good offensive ball club. We just have to play clean defense as well. You know, we can't give them an extra 90. We have to be able to field the baseball, and our pitchers have to execute. It's all about execution at this point, especially, you know, having an opportunity to win the series.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
You got it. Hail Wildcats.
Well, you heard from Coach Hernandez there in the pregame, Daryl. You got to play clean ball on defense, no errors. They made no errors last night, and they got to have the same kind of intensity on the defensive side again, because this Bama State team will put balls in play.
You know, he said there wasn't any pressure, but to me, the pressure is on this game. We want to win this game with the bats that they have, and you don't want to go with a bullpen in the third game. You get anything out of the bullpen. This is the game you want to win right here.
Edwin Sanchez starts on the mound for the Wildcats. The Sunday starter bumped up to Saturday due to injuries. He is a junior with an ERA of .391, 7-1, best record on the team. 11 appearances, all starts. He's allowed 25 runs on 51 hits, 22 earned. Striking out 61 and walking 24. His opponent batting average is .262. And leading off the game for Alabama State, it'll be Kelvin Augusto, who was the 9-hole hitter last night, but had a terrific night. 4 for 5, a homer shy of the cycle, and he was everywhere for this Hornets team. And he gets the nod to the leadoff spot, and Isaiah Landry, who led off last night, went 1 for 5, gets bumped to the 9. That's a straight swap there. Augusto, the left fielder. Umpiring crew the same as last night, but twisted around a little bit. Robert Knox Reyes behind the plate. Hiram Martinez at first. Vince Cressier at third.
You know, in the college game, the number 9 and number 1 hitter are both leadoff hitters.
And we saw that last year, or the last couple of years with Colton Olison.
Yeah, you want to pack the bottom part of that lineup. They can hit the ball.
And last night, Sergio Rivera had a triple to the right center field corner and kind of set up the top of the lineup in the 7th inning. In the air, right field and deep. Backtrack wall over the head of Martinez and off the base of the wall. So Agosto stays hot. He's now 6 for 7 in the series.
Yeah, the kid swinging a hot bat. I know he must not have walked on the beach last night.
Now batting, number 33.
And here is the big threat. Juan Cruz batting .420, the leader in all of Division I in hits, coming into the game with 84.
Wow.
19 doubles, a triple, 10 homers, and 49 RBI.
Esquez has done a great job recruiting, for Alabama State. He's a former Wildcat. I went over and talked to him before the game. But he's a great recruiter. He has some great kids. He always has a great ball club.
And
great hitters.
He challenges the same recruits that Bethune-Cookman and Coach Hernandez goes after. There's a lot of South Florida kids, a lot of Caribbean kids.
They got a different kind of facility there than we have, but they can get them at Alabama State. Man.
Yeah, but they got the track record of winning, too. Long delay here after Agosto's leadoff double, and then Cruz steps into the batter's box. It's going to be a tough one for Edwin Sanchez today. I was talking to Johnny after the pregame show, and he said Sanchez really needs us to give us 6 or 7 because of how light the pitching depth is for the Wildcats right now. First pitch to Cruz, slider strike. He also said we need to get ahead in counts, and that's the one thing that Sanchez didn't do to that first batter, Agosto. Got behind 0-2. Fastball on the ground to first. Jose Fernandez looks back the runner, steps on the bag, 1 away.
So we're still playing who's on first?
We are. It's Jose Fernandez is on first. Rodriguez, who played first last night, is catching today as Irvin Escobar gets the game off.
Irv, get a day off, okay.
He'll probably be back for the second game.
24, Cameron Douglas.
Ray Plasencia not in the lineup. He has sometimes played first as well.
How's his bat been?
Been all right. Went 0 for 3 last night. But again, the Wildcat bats didn't really get going until the 6th inning. Had 3 hits through 5.
They're just slowly becoming the cardiac cats again, with these one-run games and the comebacks that they've been doing in late innings.
Wildcats in the maroon and white today. Fastball just below the knees, 2 balls, no strikes. And this is the same thing that happened to Agosto. This is Cameron Douglas, who had a 2-run home run to left center in the first inning last night that started things off for the Hornets. And he puts one in the air down the left field line, and foul. He almost put one over the wall again.
Almost a carbon copy of last night, a 2-run homer, huh?
Yeah, well, last night, 2 home runs for Cameron Douglas. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 RBI.
Yeah, these guys can swing it, man. You got to catch him on an off-speed pitch right here. He's going to be looking over the plate. Catch him with something breaking down low.
Wildcats last night were down 6-1 at one point and came back to win 10-9 with a 6th spot in the 7th. Ground ball towards second. Venegas was screened by the umpire, but he makes the throw to first. A little bit low, but handled by Fernandez. 2 away as Kelvin Agosto trots to third.
That was dangerous. He was screened by the umpire. He saw that ball late, and that ball was sharply hit.
Yep.
Now batting, number 10.
Here's Luke Parmentier. Parmentier, 1 for 5 last night. His 1 hit was an RBI double to the left field wall. He's got Kelvin Agosto on third, who led off the inning with a double, and 2 outs here at the top of the first. It will be very important to get out of this first inning.
No runs.
No runs. Not putting yourselves immediately behind like you were last night.
Yeah.
Outside corner, no call. Last night, Vince Cressier was behind the plate. And it was the very same kind of strike zone, squeezing that outside corner. 1-1. That one down Broadway, strike 2. But if the umpire is not calling that outside corner,
you got to come inside.
You got to come inside with it. And I think that's one of the things that contributed to the high offense game last night.
Curveball.
Missed the outside corner, 2-2. That one a little bit more outside than the previous one. So both times in this AB, Sanchez has gone low and in fastball, outside breaking ball, low and in fastball, outside breaking ball. 2-2. Misses badly with the breaking ball, and now it's 3-2. This is Edwin Sanchez, a guy with only 24 walks in 50 innings pitched this season.
He's been successful. You got to barrel down right here, though.
Kelvin Agosto on third, 90 feet away. Here's the payoff pitch to Parmentier. Luke lifts it in the air, foul territory first base side, giving Chase Fernandez. That'll hit the roof of the clubhouse, and the count holds 3-2. Parmentier last night, one of the times he struck out in the 6th inning, had I think a 14-pitch at bat. Just kept fouling
He's
him off.
chipping away now. Oh.
And he takes the walk, and there's 2 on with 2 out. Once again, it was the breaking ball that got away from Sanchez, released it early, and it didn't drop into the zone.
He needs to start earlier with his inside pitch.
Here's
Try to
Alex
get ahead of count.
Espelat, 2 for 5 last night.
Number 4, Alex Espelat.
1 run scored, was replaced by a pinch hitter in the 9th who scored. At that point, tied the game at 9 before the Wildcats walked it off in the bottom. Runners on the corners here. Fastball up and away. Edwin Sanchez struggling for a little bit of command, and this is what you can't have happen early in a game.
This kid's batting .236, and he can put some metal on it.
Yep.
Come on.
Espelat batting .336, not .236.
.336,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
The lowest batting average in the starting lineup is Devin Chandler at .232 for Alabama State. That's a crazy stat. 2-0. Called a strike up by the Letters, 2-1. Just to show you how far ahead this Bama State team is in the hitting department. Their team batting average is .317, cut on and missed on an inside fastball, 2-2. The next closest is Bethune-Cookman at .307.
Well, you got the 2 top hitting teams right here in the SWAC.
2-2. Sanchez trying to get out of the inning. Runner goes in the air, right center. Long run for Martinez. He'll track it down, full extension to end the frame. Nice catch by Andre. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first. ASU nothing. Wildcats coming to bat. This is Bethune-Cookman University Baseball on the CatEye Network. Bottom one we go here at the Jack in a scoreless game between the Alabama State Hornets and the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. The Wildcats will have to deal with Isaid Pena, the junior out of Miami.
Leading off for the Wildcats,
The righty.
number 1, Darrell Lee.
Transfer from St. Petersburg College last year. Darrell Lee digs in. Lee had a tough night last night. Just 1 for 5 with a double and a run scored. Pena played his first 2 college seasons at St. Petersburg College down in South Florida. First pitch to Lee, up and out, ball 1. Had a 6.35 ERA last year at junior college level, Pena, excuse me. This year he's got a 4.58 ERA, 1-0. Lee swings and puts it in the air to right field, not deep. Douglas, tracking, still coming in, makes the catch, 1 away. And that's been the issue with Darrell Lee. He's too aggressive at trying to put balls in the air, and he ends up flying out to shallow outfield more times than not, especially over the last month or so.
I think he's trying to kind of correct his swing after a few home runs. He's got that uppercut now. Trying to hit the ball out hard to right field. Just go with the pitch.
Here's another guy that had a frustrating night last night. Andre Martinez also 1 for 5 with a double and a run scored. First pitch up and in, ball 1. Martinez leads the conference in home runs with 14, batting .352, 44 runs on 51 hits, 11 doubles, a triple, 14 long balls, as that one almost hit him on the inside.
Yeah, they're going to come inside on him, keep them arms and get extended.
46 RBI and a 731 slugging for Martinez this year.
52 home runs the Cats hit this year?
59 home runs. They're one shy of 60.
Man, I don't think Mervell even had a team that hit that many.
Down low, 3 balls, no strikes.
We got to check. We got to check with Bryce and see what the record is for.
Yeah. Well, if it ain't been broken yet, then we got to be close. Something we could do between games of this doubleheader. 3-0. Pena deals.
I know what I'm doing between games.
Called a strike inside corner. But one of the things after Andre Martinez had that ridiculous 2-week stretch where he had 7 homers in 10 days, outside and low ball 4, is he's seeing a lot more ABs like that. He's been intentionally walked a couple times. He's seeing ABs where he's got nothing to swing at.
He's being patient, too. And when he gets his pitch, he's hitting it. So that's a great nucleus for him right now with the way he's hitting the ball, man.
19th walk of the season for Martinez. He's 3rd on the team in that stat behind Darrell Lee and Sergio Rivera. Here's Jorge Rodriguez now, the senior batting .389. Had a fantastic night last night. 4 for 5, 2 homers, and 3 runs scored. And the first pitch is low, ball 1 from Isaid Pena. Full numbers on Pena: 4.58 ERA, 3-3 with 12 appearances, all starts. 55 innings pitched. He's given up 32 runs on 60 hits, 28 earned, striking out 48 and walking 20 with an opponent batting average of .273. 1-0 hit Rodriguez in the back of the shoulder, and now there's 2 on, 1 out.
Yeah, he almost hit the first batter.
Yeah, Martinez had to dive out of the way. There wasn't nothing Rodriguez could do with that one.
Nope.
And now a big spot for the designated hitter Armani Newton. Newton didn't see the field last night, had the night off, replaced by Ray Plasencia.
His batting average dipped down to like 256 now.
236.
236. My eyes bad. My eyes are really bad.
Yeah,
I got to get my surgery. Hurry up.
236 for
Goodness.
Armani Newton, after we thought at the start of the year he was going to be the Wildcats' best hitter. Had a 2-homer game against Stony Brook on opening weekend.
He was on fire, man.
He's really dipped off.
But it's baseball. You know, it goes in cycles.
2 on, 1 out. Bottom 1, no score. After 2 straight free passes, a walk and a hit by pitch. That fastball caught the outside corner, 0-1. Last time out for Pena on the mound. 6 full innings against Texas Southern last weekend. Gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 4, didn't walk anybody. Righty deals. Swing and a miss, and Newton is down 0-2. And that's the kind of swings that has gotten Newton in trouble. Big uppercut swings hunting the fences.
And he's pulling out, too. He's pulling his head out, too.
In this situation, all you need to do is
Base hit.
Drop the level of the bat, poke it to the outfield. But Pena up 0-2 here.
Just a waste pitch here.
He does, but it was even close to the strike zone. 1-2. And the catcher, Fabian Santana, who's a different catcher than last night for Bama State, set up way outside.
Don't come with a breaking ball on the outside.
1-2. Fastball missed low. The runners were going on a bit of a hit and run. They have to scamper back. Now 2-2. But you said breaking ball outside. He came fastball low and in.
Yeah, he did. I think he missed his pitch. Oh, I missed it.
2-2. Big pitch here. Pena to Newton. Newton strikes out. There's that breaking ball. And there's 2 away. And here's Jesus Venegas, who had a rough night last night. 0 for 4 with a hit by pitch and a run scored and 3 strikeouts.
Batting .304.
And he's been hot 2 of the last 3 weeks. He's been named the SWAC hitter of the week. Last night just didn't have it. 2 on, 2 out. So both Hornets and Wildcats have been in this exact position in the first inning. Early on the changeup. And it's 0-1.
It's no secret we're seeing the second best team in the SWAC and possibly the best hitting team in the nation right now.
We saw it with Southern and Cardell Thibodeau earlier in the year.
Thibodeau, man, that kid there is tremendous.
Then we saw it with FAMU 2 weeks ago, and now Alabama State. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball low and away. 0-2.
We got some guys on, but we can't get that hit when we need it.
And we didn't get it until really late in last night's game. Again, the Wildcats had just 3 hits through 5.
This kid has some pop right now. He's in command on the mound.
After starting rough, walking 2 of the first 3. Ahead 0-2, trying to get out of the inning. Venegas puts it on the ground to short. McIntosh, diving stop, rolls it to second in time. What a play by McIntosh. Well, he was spectacular last night, and he is again right there. He just rolled the ball on the ground to Espelon, who covered the bag, and that's the end of the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 left. And we go to the second inning, no score here at the Jack on the CatEye Network. To the second we go. Both teams put 2 on in the first, but can't bring any around. No score between Alabama State and Bethune-Cookman. The catcher, Fabian Santana, bats now. He did not bat last night, didn't play the catcher. Last night, DeMarcus Smiley was behind the plate. Santana, the freshman, batting .301. That one just missed up. 2 balls, no strikes to it. 20 runs on 31 hits for Santana. 5 doubles, a triple, no homers, and 11 RBI. On base of 400. That time a strike. 2-1. Sanchez is not doing himself any favors early in these counts there.
No, he's struggling early. He got one over that time. You can see his body English.
Ground ball on the breaking ball towards short. Poyeto double clutches but makes the play. 1 down.
You're getting that true bounce on this turf. You know, we played on the grass infield over in Sanford, man. I love that ballpark over there, man.
It's a nice little ballpark. I think we said a couple times if we could just copy paste it somewhere on campus, we'd take it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to diminish the Jack, the history. And
the Jack.
We love
Nothing like
playing
the
here.
Jack, man. Nothing like this place.
Here's Kyler McIntosh. First pitch strike. He was terrific in the field, both in the first inning and last night. Had a laser beam home run down the left field line last night that just crept over the wall. That's a ground ball right to short. Poyeto throws the ball into the bullpen.
Routine play, man.
My goodness. That's the first error of the series by BCU. And Coach Hernandez said on the pregame show, we cannot beat ourselves. Got to play clean baseball. That's as easy as you like. A play he literally just made 30 seconds before.
Yeah, the one hopper right to him. I just set his feet, man, and aim, because the batter had the bat in his hand halfway down the first baseline.
Now batting.
Knowing that it was a routine ground ball.
Devin Champion.
Well, there was one last night that went to Poyeto, and his throw pulled the first baseman, Rodriguez, off the bag, and Rodriguez had a great sense of mind to tag the runner with the arm sweep.
Chandler coming in at 232.
Lowest batting average on this starting lineup for Devin Chandler. Just 10 runs on 16 hits. Only 21 appearances on the season for Devin. Ground ball foul outside of third, 1-1.
He's chomping on that inside fastball.
2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, and 10 batted in for the designated hitter, Devin Chandler. Chandler did not play last night. The second of the 2 changes for Bama State in their lineup, the other one being Fabian Santana. Runner on second after a steal by McIntosh with 1 down in the inning. McIntosh reached on an error by the shortstop Poyeto. Foul back to the screen, 2-2.
He cupped him with the high inside fastball that time. Could come high again across the letters. He probably can get him a swing and a miss here.
Sanchez doesn't have a strikeout yet today. And the 5-7 lefty will deal. Went with the breaking ball outside. Didn't get the call. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three-two. Off the end of the bat. Pop fly, center field. That'll be tracked down by Sergio Rivera. And he keeps the runner at second, 2 away.
Isaiah Landry.
Landry led off last night and was 0 for 5 with a walk. With 6 plate appearances, out 5 times on 4 pop-outs and a strikeout.
He has 54 hits on the year, so he's been swinging a pretty good bat. 160 plate appearances.
Yep. 34 runs on those 54 hits for Landry. 8 doubles, a triple, no homers, and 16 batted in. He's got Kyler McIntosh on second after a Judah Poyeto error. Squares to bunt, drops it foul. Now, this would be an unearned run if it was to come across.
Yeah, because of the error at shortstop.
Yep.
I'd like to see the ball hit right back to the shortstop and let him get the third out. Get that confidence back.
Landry's one of the faster guys on the team for Alabama State. You see that first pitch bunt.
He has 4 sacrifices on the year.
He'd be one of those guys that would beat it out, though, if the third baseman's not paying attention. Well, Jorge Gonzalez-Febo will creep in just inside the baseline over there at third.
Now batting, number 1, Isaiah Landry.
Betting 275 against left-handers. 375.
That's a lot different than 275.
I have to tell you, a couple more days, man.
Breaking ball.
Wow.
Just missed outside.
It's clear as day, 375. I don't know
Some of the fans here at the Jack were wondering, hey, where was that?
Me too. I was wondering.
One. Fastball, grounder to short. Poyedo from the deep hole on a bounce, and Fernandez can't make the play. It skips away. Scoring from second is McIntosh. Going all the way to third is Landry, and the ball actually hits him on the throw over there. My goodness, 2 errors on Poyedo in the inning, and a runs comes in.
You know, I said earlier I wanted the ball hit back to him so he can get his confidence back and get the third out. He rushed to throw again, bounced it to first base. You know, our first baseman, you know, it's a circus over there at first for us.
Fernandez is not a normal first baseman.
No.
He's usually the backup catcher because the normal first baseman, Jorge Rodriguez, is playing catcher today.
So we spot him 290s with Johnny would call it. Almost a 180 there. Got 3 bases.
So now it's back to the top with Kelvin Agosto as the only hit for Alabama State. A leadoff double to the right center field wall in the first inning. And this is the complete opposite for the Wildcats than it was last night. Last night, it was all Alabama State hitting balls in the gaps, doubles and triples. Breaking ball, strike, 1-1. Today, it's all soft contact, but the Wildcat infield, specifically Judah Poyedo at short, has had a torrid time of it.
They didn't have the jugs gun on that, did they? Nope. That thing was popping.
Down low, Rodriguez bounces up with it. 2-1. Edwin Sanchez hasn't helped himself early in the count. Already up to 36 pitches here in the second inning in a game where Wildcats really needed to go deep 6 or 7 innings.
And he's falling behind early, 2-0, 2-1. Alabama State just sitting on their pitches. Should be out of the inning, though, with 2 miscues by the shortstop.
Yep.
We should be sitting in the dugout.
Elsewhere in the SWAC today, Texas Southern and Southern play the second game of their series. And Arkansas Pine Bluff and Grambling State play. That's a big one out there with the Wildcats going to Grambling next weekend.
It's good when you can look at the weather and see, you know, rain coming and just play a doubleheader and get out of town. Getaway day.
Last night, Grambling and Pine Bluff got rained out. So I wonder if they'll play 2 today. 2-1. Sanchez missed it. Ball gets away, and scampering back to third is Isaiah Landry as the ball went up the third base line. That's another wild one from Sanchez.
But it went in the right direction.
Yep.
If it went straight to the backstop, he'd scored.
And already,
Bullpen.
bullpen. Not what you want to see if you're Bethune-Cookman.
No, you don't. You can update me on the injuries in between innings.
Well,
the pitching staff.
Tanner Bocabello is done for the year.
Gosh,
Joel Corey was pulled from his start at the last second last weekend on Saturday. 3-1. Ground ball, high chopper to deep second. Venegas makes the play, and the Wildcats get out of it. No runs, no hits, 2 errors. Sorry, 1 run, sorry. No hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Alabama State here on the CatEye Network. To the bottom of the second we go here at Jackie Robinson. 1-0. Alabama State on 2 errors in the top of the inning by Wildcat shortstop Jeter Poyeto.
Now batting.
Walk-off hero from last night, Jose Fernandez will lead off for Bethune-Cookman here in the bottom of the second. Wildcats threatened with 2 on a walk and a hit by pitch against Saeed Pena in the first, but couldn't get him across. Now find themselves down 1-0. Fernandez late on the change, tipped into the glove, 0-1.
That's a Harley Davidson.
Going by on Orange Avenue, yeah. Pena working quickly. Heads up, coach. He fouls that one off towards Coach Hernandez.
Johnny's been getting some shots at him this year.
Oh, yeah. He took one off the arm.
Yeah.
In a road game at Jacksonville.
I was watching that game. Well, that was a heartbreaker. Ooh, I couldn't go to sleep after that one. And then the next night, we come back and do the same thing. Huh?
To USF, yeah. 0-2. Fernandez watches one up and in, almost hit him.
That was a good teaching tool. You lose a game, and then the next time out, you win it the same way you lost it.
Yep.
Did you make an error in that game to cause them to?
No, it was just a hit. A game-winning double by Andre Martinez. Strike 3. Fernandez punched out looking on the loping curveball on the inside corner. Second strikeout for Pena. 1 down in the inning. Here's Jorge Gonzalez Febo. Febo last night,
Now
0
batting.
for 2.
29.
With an error, a walk, and a run scored. He was replaced in the 9th by Armani Newton, who was walked. Fabo watches one up and in, ball 1. And the difference between Saeed Pena and Edwin Sanchez so far in this game is Pena has just a little bit better control early on in counts. Breaking ball. Caught the inside corner. And I will say that Robert Knox Reyes behind the plate has a very delayed strike call. Not as bad as I've seen, but pretty late. 1-1. That one line to left field as a base hit. That was middle, and Fabo was all over it.
He hung one that time. Made him pay for it. Single to left, put the Cats with a run down at first base.
Yep. First hit of the game for Bethune-Cookman. Their 2 base runners in the bottom of the first were
Here comes JP.
a walk and a hit by pitchers. Jeter Poyeto, who made the 2 errors in the first that allowed
Jeter Poyeto.
Alabama State to put a run on the board. I know Jeter would like nothing more than to get it back, but you can't get it all back at once. Just
Put it behind him.
get bat on ball, put it somewhere in the outfield. Poyeto did have a home run last night down the left field line.
Curveball.
In there for a strike. Poyeto, 2 for 4 last night. 2 runs scored, a home run in the 3rd, and a single up the middle in the 7th. Part of that 5-run 7th inning, the Wildcats came back and took the lead. 0-1 on Jeter. Puts it in the air, foul territory, out of play. 0-2. Sanchez at 41 pitches. Pena just 24.
It's still early yet.
It is still early. And it's only 1-0. I mean, at this point last night, the Wildcats were already down 4-0. 0-2 to Poyeto. Pena, after a long look in, comes home with it. Runner goes. Ball low. Throw down to second is in time. A great throw by Santana. A great pick by Espelot. And there's 2 away.
He had a perfect throw down at second base, and he just slid right into the tag.
And now it kind of feels like the first 5 innings felt last night, where just nothing is going your way. But again, long game.
Yeah.
And this Wildcats team has that
We've been known to come back. Yeah.
fight back mentality. 1-2 on Poyeto. Check swing. He went around, ball in the dirt, and that's the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We go to the third inning, 1-0 Alabama State here on the CatEye Network. Well, already a new pitcher on the mound for Bethune-Cookman as we go to the top of the third. Logan Wirtz replaces Edwin Sanchez. Sanchez goes 2 innings, gives up 1 run unearned on 1 hit and 2 errors, didn't strike out anybody. But again, we were talking in between innings, Daryl. The optics on him didn't look very good. He was missing spots. He walked 2 guys.
Yes, body English really was suffering. You know, he couldn't get the ball over the plate. He was starting late in the count, 3-1, 3-2. Threw a lot of pitches.
Now it's Logan Wirtz, the Orlando native. 4.61 ERA for Wirt. Fastball strike, 1-1. 13 2/3 innings pitched on the year for Wirtz. Last pitched back on the 23rd in the win over South Florida. He's allowed 9 runs on 12 hits. That's a chopper right back to him. He'll walk to first and underhand. To Fernandez, 1 down.
Cameron Douglas.
Home run hitter from last night, 2X. A 2-run homer and a solo shot in the night for Douglas last night. On the year, Douglas batting .326. 36 runs on 61 hits. Second on the team in hits. 14 doubles, second on the team in doubles behind Juan Cruz. Tied for the team lead in homers with 10 with Juan Cruz. First pitch to him, low and outside, ball 1.
He has 48 strikeouts, so he has a large swing. So if you can get that breaking ball, may have him extend his arm, you can get him to strike out.
Wirtz popping the fastball in there outside corner. That one a strike. You talk about guys like Jesus Venegas for the Wildcats with 55 strikeouts on the year. Darrell Lee, 45 strikeouts. Breaking ball, there's a strike, 1-2. Last night, Carlos Jasmin sat down Kyler McIntosh with a curveball so nasty. McIntosh fell over in the batter's box thinking it was going to hit him in the head, and it landed in the strike zone. 1-2. Swing and a miss.
That's the pitch I was talking about right there. Get him to extend those arms on that breaking pitch because he has a hole in his swing.
Now 2 away. Here's Luke Parmentier, who walked his first time up. Stranded on first back in the first inning. Parmentier batting .348 on the season, 31 runs on 31 hits.
Luke Parmentier.
4 doubles, a triple, 5 homers. That's more homers than doubles. 17 RBI. He had an RBI ground rule double last night, right over that.
His own base percentage is almost 500, man.
Right over that ice cream sign in left center, a red one.
Yeah.
Fastball low and away, missed it, 2-0. I think you got to start adjusting you the umpire here because Edwin Sanchez was the same way. He's working down and away, down and away, down and away, not getting any calls. 2-0 from Wirt. Up and away, missed his spot. I think you got to start working inside, trying to jam these hitters. If the umpires ain't giving you anything outside corner. That one right down Broadway, 3-1.
We've seen the evolution of umpires. I remember one of the best umpires ever from Daytona Beach, Almond Beach.
Swing and a miss, 3-2. That's his best pitch right now. Wirt, that off speed, little slider, sinker.
Harold Winterstedt. You ever heard of him?
I mean, the guy that the umpire school's named after down the road up in Ormond.
Harry, man, I used to work at the airport. Every time he came in, he gave me what we call a Lockwood. He gave me a $10 tip every time. Every time he flew in.
3-2 with 2 down. Upstairs, ball 4, so Parmentier walks for the second time of the game. And for the second time on a full count. Just got away from Logan Wirt upstairs, and that'll turn the ball over to Alex Espelot. He flew out to right field his first time up. A really nice catch by Martinez. Full sprint, full stretch.
Alex Espelot.
Espelot chops it foul right at home plate, 0-1.
He hasn't shown much power. He has 3 homers, about 5 or 6 doubles, 13 RBIs.
Up and in, ball 2. Espelot, the freshman from right here, Seminole, Florida. Played at Seminole High School for the Seminoles.
Maybe these are the folks that's in front of us. Maybe those are his people. No?
They're all wearing Wildcats shirts.
Oh, they got on Wildcats. Okay.
Well, all the families of
They're over there on that side.
Alabama State are down the third baseline. I saw Juan Cruz's family all wearing shirts. Espelot's family's down there in the white. I see him now. They got the names on the back.
Yeah. Short drive over from Sanford. We know that trip.
Yeah, the Wildcats playing out in Sanford now. Seems like every other week. We'll be there one more time this season. Last series of the year against Texas Southern. That's not next weekend, but the weekend after, as the Wildcats will look to lock up the #1 seed going into the tournament. Check swing. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Jairo Martinez. 2 balls, 1 strike on Espelot. Wirt behind on the count, 2-1. Now 3-1 as that one just missed upstairs. Different pitchers, same problems, Daryl. Just can't find the strike zone and put the pitcher in a tough spot. 3-1. Swing and a miss at a fastball that ran in on the hands, 3-2. I think that's the pitch you need to go to.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You stick with the pitchers right now that's in the zone. Got to come back with that pitch.
Second straight batter on a 3-2 count now. Wirt trying to get out of the inning. Runner goes. Oh, where did that miss? Ball 4, 2 straight walks for Wirt. They're squeezing the outside corner, and then there's whatever that was.
My thing is, if you're an umpire, that's the strike zone. How do you alter a strike zone by not calling a pitch on the outside corner of strike when it actually is a strike? You know, I don't understand that. Everybody should have the same strike zone.
Wildcats should have been out of this inning 1-2-3.
A ground ball here, get him out.
2 straight walks. Here's Fabian Santana grounded out to short his first time up to begin the second inning. Slider misses away, 1-0. Wildcats already given 3 free passes to Alabama State in the first 3 innings. That one caught the bottom of the zone. Two on, 2 out. Alabama State's gone from doing nothing this inning to really threatening. Ground ball up the middle. Venegas is right there to step on second. Great defensive positioning.
He was playing
and that's
perfect.
the end of the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 left. And we go to the bottom of the third. Wildcats still down 1-0 here on the CatEye Network. We go to the bottom of the third here at the Jack. 1-0 Alabama State. 2 errors in the second on Jeter Poyeto, the difference in the ball game. And we get to the 9-hole hitter for the first time. For the Wildcats, here's Sergio Rivera. Rivera really the one holdover on this starting lineup from last year, outside of maybe Jorge Gonzalez-Febo. Rivera last night, 2 for 4, an RBI triple and a run scored in the 7th and a double in the 8th. Breaking ball, strike 1. And that's the main difference between Isaid Pineda and the Wildcat pitchers. He's starting us on the inside corner and getting strike calls. Well, the Wildcats are trying to work outside, bite at the outside corner, not getting it. 0-1. Low and in, 1-1.
Feels like the Cats down 5-0.
It does. And it got kind of the same feel about it as last night when they were down 4-0, 5-1, 6-1. But all it takes is a couple of hits strung together, and you know these bats can come right back into the game. Rivera
Not
crossed
like that.
up on that off speed. Ball and 2 strikes. Both teams just 1 hit so far. Rivera watches that slider low and away, 2-2. But the difference is the 3 walks given up by the Wildcats, the 2 errors.
Yeah, those errors come around to kill you every time. Walks, too. Walks will kill you.
Rivera looking for something here on a 2-2 count. He puts one on the ground, chopper to third. Fielding is Parmentier. Throws across. It's close, but there's one away.
He waited for the second bounce. Then gunned it across the diamond.
Yeah, didn't charge it. Back to the top of the order. Here's Darryl Lee, who flew out to right his first time up.
Number 1, Darryl Lee.
Lee, the freshman, redshirt freshman, batting .311. 41 runs on 46 hits, 10 doubles, 5 triples, 8 homers, and 38 batted in.
I think he needs to re-identify, his role at the plate.
He needs to be a leadoff guy. Just get on.
Right.
Fastball at the knees, a ball and a strike. The second baseman, Espelot,
In right
is
field.
playing way
Shot.
deep into shallow right field. They played Lee like this last night, too, and he grounded right into it one of his times at bat. That's on the outside corner is called a strike.
Come on.
On
that's
a
way
slider.
That looked outside to me. From where I'm
And it's
sitting.
1-2 on Lee. But right up the middle, there's a big hole, and on the left-hand side, there's a big hole. If you just poke it the other way, get there for a base hit. Of course, easier said than done. 1-2 from Pena. Lee in the air to center. That's actually going to hang up and be caught by the second baseman, Espelot. I thought that was going to go right to center field, but it just popped straight up.
Yeah, he was in the shallow right field. He just backed up 2 steps. They've seen something with Lee. You want to throw him breaking balls with 2 strikes. Give him to chase something.
Now 2 away. Here's Andre Martinez, who walked his first time up. Didn't really get anything to hit. 4 really bad pitches. That time, right at the knees, fouled away. 0-1.
The pitching coach for Alabama State, former BCU shortstop Dwight Clark.
Yep. To go along with Jose Vasquez, another
Drew
former
Clark.
Wildcat.
His name is Drew Clark. Now, Dwight Clark is the tight end for the 49ers.
But, Drew Clark. And then, of course, Vasquez, a former BCU player himself, former BCU assistant coach under Mervel Melendez.
A lot of BCU coaches go to Alabama State, I'm telling you.
That one, a bad swing by Martinez on a ball in the dirt, 0-2. And again, this feels like the Wildcats felt last night, just
playing around with them
till
it gets dark and we'll win.
Martinez, high fly in the infield behind the plate. The third baseman, Parmentier, gets it a ground out and 2 pop outs, and that's the end of the inning for the Wildcats. They go 1, 2, 3. We go to the 4th. It's 1-0 Alabama State here on the CatEye Network. Shortstop Connor McIntosh leads off the fourth, for Alabama State.
Number 3.
They have a 1-0 lead over Bethune-Cookman. Only 1 hit. It was Calvin Agosto's leadoff double in the first, but the run came in on 2 errors by the shortstop Jeter Poyeto in the second. Already 5 left on for Alabama State, though. They've been threatening every inning. That one tapped back foul to the screen, 1-1. Logan Wirt on for his second inning of work after Edwin Sanchez just went 2 innings. We were told in between innings that he was pulled because of arm tightness. Just trying to avoid an injury. 1-1. Slow chopper to third, fielded up high by Fabo. And his throw is a little high itself, but making the play is Fernandez. 1 down.
I know I'm a swimming teacher, but why am I holding my breath every time we hit the ground ball?
Except if it's to Venegas.
Yeah.
Venegas got everything covered.
Yeah.
But that left side of the infield has been
44. Devin.
a little rough today, which is wild because last night the Wildcats made no errors, even in that crazy game where we gave up 9 runs. First pitch strike at the knees to Devin Chandler. Flew out to center his first time up. Off the inside of the bat, punch to left field. That one's going to get down. Rivera and Lee converge. Neither of them can find the ball. The second hit of the game for Bama State.
Yeah, they hit it right in the gap between the two of them. They both were on their horses trying to get there, and Lee let it bounce. Lee was covering the center fielder, and the center fielder let it bounce.
Now it's Isaiah Landry, who reached on an error back in the second.
Now batting, number 1, Isaiah Landry.
Was the second of the 2 errors. That was the one that allowed a run to score. Throw back to first. They got him.
Great play that time.
Devin Chandler took too big of a lead off of first, and Jorge Rodriguez gunned him down.
And here's the thing, trying to get back to first base on turf is different. In the clay, you can just plant your cleats and come back, but you slide on this turf.
Now 2 away. Popped up, behind the plate, out of play, 1-1. We saw the speed of Isaiah Landry in the second inning on that error. He went from first all the way to third. High fly ball, left field, not very deep. Lee comes in, makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 goes Alabama State. They do get a hit, but the pickoff strands David Chandler, and the Wildcats come to bat in the bottom of the 4th, down 1-0 here on the CatEye Network. To the bottom of the fourth here at the Jack. Wildcats desperate for some offense. They only have one hit in the game. That was Jorge Gonzalez-Fabo back in the second inning, and he was immediately caught stealing. Wildcats have not had a base runner past second. In the first inning, they had their best chance when Martinez and Rodriguez got hit and walked back-to-back. But since then, it's been nothing doing against Isaid Pena. Except for that one hit. Wildcats have gone down 1-2-3 the last 2 innings. Here's Jorge Rodriguez, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. And he lines one to center field. There's a base hit. First pitch sat on the changeup and put it right back where it came from.
His approach was perfect, man. He got the breaking ball changeup on the first pitch. Just drilled it in the center field.
Now here's Armani Newton, who struck out his first time up. First of the 3 strikeout victims for Pena. Now the Wildcats have a chance to do something here.
You lay one down here and play small ball?
Maybe, but Parmentier is way in on the grass on the third base side, unless you want to try and drag bunt with the lefty Newton.
There's a lot of room on the left side, though.
Breaking ball, strike one. They do not bunt.
If Armani could just hit that thing right in the gap, left side, plenty of room.
Yep, because the shortstop McIntosh is playing almost behind the second base bag. And he's way ahead of the off-speed breaking ball. 0-2 to Newton.
I'm watching his dad, man. His dad, you almost hear him over here.
Living and dying on every pitch.
They're telling him about keep that head in, breaking ball.
Rodriguez leads off of first after a leadoff single. 0-2. Newton watches a waste pitch outside. A lot of action on Orange Avenue today. We got the motorcycles and everything else.
At least the Jeeps are gone.
That was, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Next thing you know, it'll be Mother's Day, so we always got something going on here.
Newton strikes out on the curveball again. Second strikeout for Newton. And he just cannot find that curveball. He's way out in front of him. One away. Here's Jesus Venegas, who reached on a fielder's choice in the first. That ended the inning.
Now batting, number 12, Jesus Venegas.
One away, Rodriguez on first. Venegas put the ball in play up the middle his first time up, and it took a tremendous diving play by McIntosh, or else one would have probably scored back in the first for the Wildcats. McIntosh dove full stretch behind the second base bag, and from his belly rolled the ball to the second baseman to get the out. Venegas chops it foul. He's behind 0-2.
So he actually fielded a ground ball, and he threw a ground ball.
Yeah, that's true.
For the out, yeah.
Yeah. But he's made some tremendous plays. Both this afternoon and last night, he was unbelievable at shortstop. To Venegas. On the ground towards short. McIntosh. That one gets through.
He was playing in the hole. He made his way over there, but the ball skipped up under his glove. Cats with two runners on with 1 out. 2 base hits.
Well, I was just praising Kyler McIntosh, and he can't quite get to that one. To be fair, that's a tough play.
Yeah, it was a tough play. He was playing it up the middle. Just to get over there and get a glove on it was great.
Now here's Jose Fernandez, who had the walk-off single to left field last night as the Wildcats won 10-9. Fernandez had a tough day over at first base. There's 2 throwing errors by Poyeto. First and second, 1 out. Fernandez rips one down the left field line. That's going to drop in fair and head to the corner. Rounding third and coming home from second is Rodriguez. Venegas goes from first to third. It's a ribby double for Jose Fernandez.
Just a matter of time before the bats woke up. Early start for the Cats. It's 3 o'clock now, so it's time for those bats to wake up.
1-1. And even as cold as the bats have been to start this game,
somebody's always picking up. That's what I like about Coach Fernandez's team. There's always somebody in the lineup that picks up everybody else.
Last night it was Rodriguez when nobody else could put bat on ball. He had 3 hits. Mm-hmm. He woke everybody up, and now How good has Jose Fernandez been, man? Not an everyday starter, the third catcher on the depth chart coming into the year.
Kid understands his role.
Now second and third. First pitch ball inside to Jorge Gonzalez-Febo, who singled to left his first time up and was caught stealing back in the second inning.
You've been getting good production from your catchers all season between him and Escobar.
And even if you want to throw in Rodriguez, who's been forced to go to first base for most of the season after Manny Sufrain got hurt. You talk about the gaudy offensive numbers. We're going to get a meeting on the mound from Coach Vasquez. But we're doing all of this without the guy who we thought was going to be the best offensive
Manny
player
Sufrain.
on the team coming into the season. Manny Sufrain, of course, out for the year. We got two broken wrists on this team. Manny Sufrain and Tanner Bocabello.
Well, that's a tough break for us. You got your best pitcher and your best, hitter both out for the year. But it's also, you got to look at Johnny, man, what he does with his lineup.
Yeah.
You got kids that really play their role, and that's team baseball.
Well, the thing that concerns me right now is not the lineup, it's the pitching. You got Bocabello out for the year. Correa missing 2 straight starts with a shoulder. Now Sanchez out of this game with arm tightness, and you think you might be down all 3 weekend starters going into the last 2 weekends of the year.
And what that does, that just evens us with everybody else, because we had the advantage in the pitching staff.
Yep.
We just got to continue to swing the bat.
2 balls, no strikes. The pitch to Fabo, breaking ball, is low, ball 3. At one point, midway through the conference season, Darryl, we had the best batting average and runs scored in the conference and the best ERA in the conference.
The training staff's going to have to do some work.
3-0. Ball 4 loads him up. Venegas on third, Fernandez on second, Fabo on first. With 1 away in the fourth, and here's Jeter Pieto. You want to talk about making up for your errors? Well, here's the chance right now.
With the bases loaded and 1 down.
Yep.
JP can do some damage right here, get that unearned run back, and possibly get another run across with a base hit.
Again, he had a solo home run that found the batting cages down the left field line last night. But also last night, he just put a single up the middle in the 7th. That started that big 5-run inning.
And that's what we want. You don't want to put pressure on him trying to hit a long ball. Just hit the ball back up the middle.
First pitch to him from Pena, and he swings and misses. That's that curve change somewhere in between a slider and a curve as well. Slurve, sweeper.
Yeah.
Not sure quite what to call it.
He's been effective with it.
It's been Pineda's best pitch. Or Pena's best pitch, excuse me. Up and in, almost hit Pieto, 1-1. I'm conflating in my mind Isaid Pena for Alabama State and E. Smith Pineda, who plays for the Daytona Tortugas.
Oh, okay.
1-1, bases juiced in a tie game, bottom 4. Pieto watches one low, 2-1. Walks as good as a single right now.
The Tortugas team is just as young as us.
Oh, yeah.
They got a lot of 19, 20-year-olds on the team. They're just as young as the Wildcats.
And they're struggling right now.
Yeah, they're down in 3rd place now.
Again, a long season to go here at the Jack. 2-1. Pieto trying to be patient at the plate here. Pena deals. Pieto chops it foul, 2-2. That was the pitch.
Yeah,
Felt high.
Here comes the slurve right here. You're going to have to lay off it or
sit back on it.
Or sit back on it and drive it to the right side.
The only person who's really been able to do that so far in the game is Fabo. But he waited on it and just drove it to left. Bases loaded. 1 down. Venegas, Fernandez, and Fabo all on base. Waiting to come home. Here's the 2-2 to Pieto. Upstairs, ball 3. Really tough take by Pieto.
He has a great eye that time because that thing was just a tad high. He knows the strike zone. I would have been biting on that one, though.
Me too. And maybe that's why we're sitting up here.
I'd have been trotting around second
there.
base right about now with 1 flap down.
3-2. Fouls it away, stays alive.
1 flap down, going around second.
Pieto barely made contact on that one. He was expecting off speed, and he threw the fastball up high by the letters. But the world is Pena's oyster here. I think he goes with the breaking ball. Let's see. 3-2. Bases loaded. Poyeto, ball four, outside. It escapes to the backstop, but it doesn't matter. Walking in from third is Venegas. He'll score. Fernandez goes to third, Fabo to second, and on with an RBI is Poyeto.
So you think he's beginning to tire a little bit? How many pitches? Let's see.
60 pitches. That was pitch number 60, that wild one.
The bullpen's got a little action going now. Let's see who that is down there in the bullpen.
Well, 2-1 Wildcats. And still the bases loaded and one out here in the fourth. And the batter is Sergio Rivera, who grounded out to third.
Number 11.
That's Jackson Allred in the bullpen for Alabama State, the junior. I remember him from last year. Rivera, got that one right where he wanted it, just a little ahead, and chopped it back to the screen.
It's been this way all year. The Cats, get behind and they begin to get a hit here and a hit there. Then all of a sudden, boom, they break open.
Sergio Rivera batting an even 300 on the year. A run on one hit last night. Was quiet in the series against Pine Bluff, up and in ball one. Just 2 hits in the 3 games up there. Had a big home run against South Florida in the Wildcats midweek win 2 weeks ago right here at the Jack. And he was hunting for the fences that time and missed on the slider 1 and 2.
Yeah, why not? Why not take a shot on that pitch?
Well,
even though it's one down, you take a shot. If he puts it there, you missed it. Now you go back to your regular approach.
I'd just want to see one over the top of the infielders and into center field somewhere. And he puts one in the air, right field. Moving in Douglas, he'll make the catch. Breaking from third is Fernandez, and the throw beats him. And that's the end of the inning. Great throw by Douglas. So 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 left. The Wildcats take a 2-run lead, but that will maybe come back to haunt us later. We'll see. We go to the 5th inning here on the CatEye Network. We go to the top of the 5th. Wildcats come back with 2 in the 4th to take the lead over Alabama State. Logan Wirt will throw pitch number 31 of his outing to Kelvin Agosto. Breaking ball, catches the outside corner, strike 1. There's finally an outside corner strike call.
Maybe the strike zone now is getting a little bit expanded later in the innings.
Yeah. That's a good slider from Logan Wirt, getting Agosto to fan on it. Just 1 strikeout for Wirt, but no runs allowed and just 1 hit and 2 innings of work so far.
Not going to see many strikeouts against the #1 hitting team in the nation. Nah. against these guys putting the ball in play.
0-2. Line drive to third. Skips into the glove of Fabo. Low to first, but Fernandez gathers it for out number 1. Man, every time the ball's hit to the left side of the infield.
I'm holding my breath. I'm not blowing bubbles either.
Really nice pick by Fabo at third, though. That was a rocket right at him.
You get a true bounce off the turf. So here comes Douglas.
Now here's Juan Cruz. 0 for 2.
416.
Yep. Nation's leader in hits with 84 coming into the game.
High fastball.
Bryce and I were talking last night about the chase for maybe 100 hits by the end of the season for Cruz, and it could happen.
I don't know. They got like 8 games left.
Yeah.
You could possibly get that. Well, we don't get any more this weekend, but
yeah. Well, last night he had 2 doubles and 2 runs scored in the first 3 innings. After that walk grounder, we just gave him nothing to hit. 0-2. Wirt frisbees one way outside, hoping for a swing, and it's 1-2. That's the kind of thing you got to do to a hitter like Cruz. Try and get him to be over-aggressive.
Yeah, you got to show him some different arm slots, too.
A ball and 2 strikes here. In the air, right field. Pushes Martinez back towards the track. He makes the catch. And there's 2 away.
He hit that ball to left field, man. It's still going. He hit it against the wind.
Yep.
To the warning track.
Martinez scoops it up, and Juan Cruz is 0 for 3.
Douglas.
Now here's Cameron Douglas, who's 0 for 2. Ground out to second at a strikeout. The Wildcats bullpen starting to get going over there as Logan Wirt's highest pitches thrown on the season is 65. He threw that in a start in the first matchup at South Florida on the 1st of March. Check that 1st of April, my apologies. He went 3 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. He was really good in that game. The Wildcats eventually dropped it 9-7 in a thriller.
We've had a number of thrillers this year.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of them haven't gone our way. You think about the close games against 2 games against Jacksonville, both didn't go our way.
By the same kid.
Yeah.
Same kid killed us twice.
Delamler. 2 walk-offs against the Cats this year. He's got our number, yeah. And in North Florida, we got him one time, but the first time was close. Here, when they beat us. You turn half of those around, and the Wildcats looking at maybe 35 wins this year.
We had 35, easily at 35. We had 29 now, 26.
We are at 27-19 coming into the day. 2-1. Up and in ball 3, 3-1 to Douglas.
8 games above 500.
Yeah, we were talking about the chase for 30 wins, right? 6 games left after this, after today. You got 2 today, and then 2 more series. Ball 4 to Douglas. And another walk for the Wildcats. They have given up 4 walks already. That's been the thing that's hurt them more than the 1 hit, or 2 hits, excuse me, that Bama State's got.
So I'm tempted to go back and look at the games that we blew, walk-off losses.
I think I just named all of them.
That we should be over 30 wins. Oh, you just right, you did.
UNF, Jacksonville twice, South Florida the first time.
Yeah, we should be over 30 wins easily. Looking at the other schools with 30 wins, they haven't played anybody, though.
Fastball, strike at the knees to Luke Parmentier. Parmentier, 0 for 2, 2 walks.
There are 5 schools in the SIAC with over 30 wins.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Savannah State, Miles, a few of those schools like that, they got over 30 wins already.
But D2 starts earlier.
Yeah, but you look
and
at the
plays
schedule.
more games.
You look at their schedule, man. Yeah, they do.
0-1. Ground ball right back up the middle. There's a base hit for Parmentier. So walk, single for Parmentier, and there's 2 on with 2 out. The Wildcats cannot get out of an inning today. First inning, single, 2 outs, walk, and then they had to get the 3rd out with 2 on base. Second inning, out, error, out for the only run for Bama State. 3rd inning, out, walk, fielder's choice. 4th inning, out, single out,
Yeah.
and a pickoff.
Espelot right here. Curveball outside.
Slider missed it. But the Wildcats have not been able to get off the field with 2 outs at all today, and it's hurt them. And Bryce talks about it all the time when he does these broadcasts with me, is just getting that last guy out is so much harder than it should be. Wirt behind 2-0. We've got movement in the Wildcat bullpen. We got somebody thrown out there. Wouldn't be surprised if this is Logan Wirt's last inning. Trying to get out without any damage. Got a swing and miss with a fastball down. 2-1.
25.
That'll be Robert Lastra warming in the Wildcat pen. 2-1. Upstairs, 3-1. Lastra's family is all sitting down in front of us with the black shirts on.
Okay, those are them. Okay.
Yeah.
You get a good ovation when it comes in.
3-1. Trying to avoid loading the bases here with 2 out. Swing and a miss on a changeup inside corner, 3-2.
You got to come back with that same pitch right here.
3 times now. There's been a 3-2 count for Wirt. He's walked both of the previous guys.
Same pitch.
3-2. He'll step off, throw back to second. Wildcats with 4 walks in the game, just 1 strikeout. That was the second batter that Logan Wirt faced all the way back in the 3rd inning. 3-2, 2 out, 2 on. Wildcats with a 1-run lead. Ball 4, bases loaded. 2 walks and a single. And here's Fabian Santana. Now, if you're the Wildcats, do you leave Wirt in and try and let him work out of the jam? Looks like they will.
I think once they announce the batter, he's going to come out.
Well, yeah, they're going to take all the time possible, right? The catcher's going to go out there. Then Johnny's going to go out there. They're talking about it right now, the top step of the dugout.
Number 28, Fabian Santana.
And in half an inning after the Wildcats did a bunch of damage and probably could have had more with the bases loaded, Bama State goes ground out, fly out, walk, single walk, and have loaded the bases with 2 outs, and here comes Johnny, and that'll be the end for Logan Wirt.
I guess his fan club is going to give him a rousing ovation as he gets in.
So he'll turn it over to Robert Lastra, the junior out of Miami. Transfer from Miami-Dade College. And a former South Dade and Palmetto High School player. Lastra, big spot here.
There they go. That's his fan club. Got the trip up from Miami, huh?
Yep.
Brought the kids from, they're probably going to go to Disney too. This way.
But it's going to be tough on Lastra. He's got a 6.33 ERA in 27 innings pitched. He's given up 21 runs on 28 hits, 19 earned, striking out 19 and walking 13. He's allowed 5 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, 7 wild pitches. That's the concerning number for me. 3 hit by pitches, and his ERA once again is 6.33.
So we're on the back wall of the bullpen now?
Yeah. Batting average against 269 for Lastra. In his biggest spot of the season, bases loaded, 2 outs. The batter will be Fabian Santana, who's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Grounded out to short in the 2nd. Make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest BCU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com/shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on Shop. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest BCU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And you can stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by following the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_Athletics. And for the latest on BCU baseball, follow at BCU Diamondcats on X and Instagram. Here we go. It may only be the top of the 5th, but this feels like the most important moment of the game. Wildcats up 1, 2 outs, bases full of Hornets. Douglas at third, Parmentier at second, Espillat at first.
Or come back up to the pitcher and let's get out of here.
The batter is Fabian Santana. First pitch, low, ball 1. A walk would tie the game. A wild pitch would tie the game. A hit would put the Hornets ahead, most likely. Outside and low, ball 2.
He's got to be taking all the way here. Put one down the middle.
Quick pitch by Lastra, caught the corner. 2-1. That wasn't quite down the middle, but it'll do.
It was in the zone, so he can kind of relax now and get his pitches across.
Santana didn't play last night. Takes the fastball inside corner, strike 2.
He's getting that single and just going.
This is a big spot for Santana, the freshman out of Puerto Rico. 2-2. Spiked it. 3-2 again for the 4th straight batter. 2 walks and a single to the first 3. Runners go, Lastra deals, ground ball towards short, charging Poyeto. He'll go to first on the move, and he got it this time. Jeter Poyeto makes up for his 2 errors and keeps the Wildcats in the lead. No runs, a hit, the base is left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Wildcats here on the CatEye Network.
That was huge.
Darrell Lee, top of the order, leads off the bottom of the 5th for the Wildcats. They escaped a bases-loaded jam in the top of the inning.
He's trying to do some damage with the bats here.
See if the Wildcats can make the Hornets pay for leaving them ducks on the pond. First pitch fastball outside, strike 1. And I've noticed with the strike zone for Robert Knox Reyes, he's more generous with the outside corner on left-handed batters. Lee, ground ball to second. That's why the second baseman's playing all the way out there in the outfield. Sliding stop by Espillat makes the play 1 down. But to finish my point on the home plate umpire, and then on a right-handed hitter, that outside corner just evaporates.
Not giving it to him.
Now batting, number 36, Andre Martinez.
They figured out something with D. Lee. They got him in a shift, man. He's hitting right into that shift.
Yep. Now here's Andre Martinez. Walked to the first, popped out on the infield to the third baseman, Parmentier. In the third, and he first pitch swings again and lifts it to center. Landry tracks it, makes the catch. I think Martinez is frustrated, but he's got to work counts. I think 5 of his 6 at-bats of this series has been first pitch swinging, first pitch out. And that's, 3 pitches, 2 outs now for Pena, and he's allowed himself to work deeper into this game.
Yeah. Not giving his pitcher a chance to rest either.
Just 67 pitches for Pena. Wirt had 50, Sanchez 41. First pitch outside and low to Jorge Rodriguez. There's a strike, 1-1. So the Wildcats have combined between Sanchez, Wirt, and Lastra for 97 pitches on the game. Pena has thrown 67. Here's number 68. Off the end of the bat by Rodriguez, out of play to the first base side, 1-2. And yet the Wildcats are still in the lead 2-1.
That's baseball, man.
I knew you were going to say that's baseball.
It's not a cliche either. That's baseball.
Nope. 1-2. Tipped into the glove, strike 3. 1-2-3 go the Cats on just 6 pitches. And we go to the 6th inning of play. 2-1 Bethune-Cookman here on the CatEye Network. We go to the 6th. This game moving right along. Just an hour and 35 minutes to the 6th inning, which is good because we got to play 2 today, and there's a doubleheader Saturday here at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. 2-1. Bethune-Cookman after surviving a bases-loaded jam in the 5th. Robert Lastra came on in replace of Logan Wirt and got Fabian Santana to ground out to short. Kyler McIntosh bats now. He's got the only run for the Hornets so far today. Came in on 2 errors back in the 2nd inning. Ground ball to short. Poyeto makes the play. That time looked more comfortable. 1 away.
I didn't even look at first base. I just watched him field it. He looked smooth that time on his.
Yeah. So Poyeto's made 2 errors in the game, but also has 4 putouts. And so the ball's come to him 6 times.
You got to be like a DB, man. You got to just forget about it and go to the next play.
That mentality maybe is more true in baseball than any other sport because there's so many opportunities for next man up, next play up.
Even at bat.
Yeah, you whiff on a pitch. Nope, get the next one. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Devin Chandler. He's 1 for 2. Flew out to center in the 2nd. Then singled to left in the 4th, but was picked off at first. Outside corner, 3 balls, no strikes. I'll continue harping on the fact that the outside corner is basically just not existent.
He would not give that right-hand hitter, batter up that pitch. And the wind is whipping now to center.
Just like it was last night when we had 5 combined home runs.
With that new facade that's going over in right field, man, The thing has changed the wind pattern a little bit. We see the ball going, the wind blowing to the left, but the wind is actually blowing straight out to center field.
1 on, 1 out. Here's Isaiah Landry, the 9-hole hitter. Squares to bunt. Go back to first. Well, Devin Chandler's already been picked off over there once by Rodriguez behind the plate tonight. Didn't get it that time. And already we've got action going in the Wildcat pen as Lastra has come in and got 2 outs, but he's been a little bit wild with it. That time found the zone on the inside corner. Landry reached on the second error back in the second, both by Poyeto. Went all the way to third and was stranded there. Ground ball, foul outside of third. His other AB, Landry, was in the 4th inning. He flew out to left field to Darrell Lee to end that frame. That was the only time in the ball game that Alabama State went 1-2-3, and they still had a hit in that inning. Just didn't come to much on the pickoff. 1-2. Got him swinging. First strikeout for Lastra on a really nice off-speed curve.
Well, I think Lastra right now has found a rhythm, man. He changed his pitches very well in that at-bat, and you want to use the same approach, man. Make him reach.
2 away. Top of the order now. Here's Kelvin Agosto. 1 for 3 on the night. Led off the game with a double to right center. Stranded on third. And grounded out to second and grounded out to third in his other 2 plate appearances. You're right, that wind is really motoring out there to left center field. We saw multiple times last night balls that I thought were just going to be lazy flies just get up into that wind and just carry on out of here. And that may be one of the reasons why the Wildcats just uppercut swing and hack and try to put balls in the air, because they know if they get a piece of one, it could leave the yard. (1-0) up and in 2-0. But I would rather the Wildcats just kind of sit back on it, try and hit line drives and hard ground balls. And if you get one up into the air and it goes out, cool. (2-0) from Lastra, spiked it, 3-0. But how many times this season have the Wildcats been beat by just single?
A lot.
3 balls, no strikes. Lastra to Agosto with Cruz on deck. There's a strike. Agosto was walking down to first. He thought that was ball 4. He'll stand it and watch the 3-1. I read an interesting article several years ago about umpire decision-making behind the plate. 3-1. Inside and low ball.
Right.
Oh, called a strike. That one, I think, was a little bit more egregious than the first one. It's 3-2. But umpires, they found, are risk averse. And what I mean by that is they widen the strike zone with 3 balls, and they tighten the strike zone with 2 strikes, because they don't want to be responsible for making the judgment call on the close play. And that's not a conscious, it's all subconscious. And Coach Vasquez is not happy with the 2 latest strike calls on his leadoff man, Kelvin Agosto, to make it 3-2.
He's giving the umpire an earful.
If you can find that study, go and read it. It's very interesting.
I'll have to look that up.
3-2 on Agosto. 2 outs. Chandler on first after a walk. Chandler goes, ball 4. Oh, my goodness. The Wildcats are killing themselves with the walks today. And now it's Juan Cruz with 2 on and 2 out. Cruz 0 for 3 today. He's due.
Oh, he's overdue. That's what's scary about it. Running scoring position.
7 walks for the Wildcats today. 7 walks.
Yeah.
And they still have a 2-run lead.
Yeah, 1-run lead.
A 2-1 lead.
Or a 2-1.
Yeah. This is not going to be a pitching change. Here's Joel Sanchez, the pitching coach. trying to figure out how to attack Juan Cruz. Do you put him on and load the bases for Douglas behind him? Or do you go straight at him because he's 0-3?
What has Douglas done today?
Douglas, ground out, strikeout, walk. Cruz, ground out, fly out to right.
Pick your poison. I'll just go at this guy with 2 down.
Come be a part of BCU Athletics and support the CatEye Network. If you or your business is interested in becoming a partner with us here on the CatEye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcat Athletic Communications Department at BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. That's BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. Well, we said the biggest at-bat of the game was Fabian Santana last inning with the bases loaded. Here's another biggest at-bat of the game right now. Juan Cruz, Chandler on second, Augusto on first, 2 outs of the 6th. The Wildcats hanging on to a 2-1 lead.
You got to put the ball in the strike zone. No walks here. Yeah.
Cruz hacks at an up and in fastball, and that was not what was the intended pitch.
No.
Lostrom missed his spot.
Yeah. Plus he changed the eye level by doing that too. So now he can put a curveball in here, offset that.
0-1. Cruz up the middle, base hit. That'll tie the game. Coming in from second is Chandler. Going to third, and in there safely is Augusto, and it's 2-2. Well, we talked about Juan Cruz being due. He gets an RBI single, and it's 2-2.
That's what happens when you walk guys. You walk them, you get them in scoring position. The base hit ties the game.
Now here's Cameron Douglas with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Oh, boy. 7 walks to 2 strikeouts for the Wildcats.
Breaking pitch.
Yeah, big slider, swing and a miss by Cameron Douglas. On the season, the Wildcats have 363 strikeouts to just 196 walks. I'm not going to do the math on the fly. That's about a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
That pitch he just threw, he had a grip wrong. Out of his hand, that thing was a ball. It's over gripping.
To walk 7 in the first 5 2/3 of a ball game, that one scorched to the bullpen and caught by the bullpen catcher.
That's why he's there.
Carlos Jasmin, who pitched last night, who Coach Hernandez said is good to go today because they only pitched about 25 pitches. 1-2. Lastra trying to get out of the inning without any more damage. Ground ball, base hit, right in between short and third. And the Alabama State Hornets have a 3-2 lead. Augusto scores. Cruz goes to second. And that probably will be the end for Lastra. And once again, the Wildcats are behind.
Felt like we've been behind the whole time, even when we were winning. Because of the walks.
Here's Parmentier, 2 walks and a single in the game. He's got Cruz on second, Douglas on first, 2 already in the inning for the Hornets to take a 3-2 lead. Fastball strike from Lastra. After the doubleheader today, the Wildcats will go to Grambling State, the defending champions, for a 3-game set next weekend. And close out the regular season with 3 in Sanford against Texas Southern. Breaking ball strike 0-2 on Parmentier.
So we're close with the west side, huh?
Yep. Right, 3, got it. Looking, down goes Parmentier, but the damage is done. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 left on, and it's 3-2 Alabama State as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the CatEye Network. Well, the Wildcats find themselves in a familiar spot this weekend, back down by 1. 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Armani Newton leads off. There's a new center fielder for Alabama State, Zaylen Smith, who pinch ran last night in the 9th inning and ended up scoring the tying run before the Wildcats walked it off in the bottom of the 9th, is now in center field. Isaid Pena, on 71 pitches, is still on the hill for the Hornets. And that one's cracked to right field by Armani Newton. There it goes! Adios, amigos! He hit that one into the construction down the right field side. And it's 3-3, just like that.
See, that's what Superstitious does. His mom and dad moved back 5 rows after he struck out 3 times, and then he hit a home run.
That was mashed. Absolutely mashed.
Tie game.
Tie game at 3.
Now batting, number 12, ASU G2.
And that was after Newton was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Wow.
And 2 bad strikeouts, too.
Dad is still hollering over there. That's what we got. We got to continue now with the bats, man.
First pitch breaking ball high to Jesus Venegas. There's been work going on in that ASU bullpen for a long time.
A lefty.
Venegas taps it foul off the end of the bat, 1-1. Can the Wildcats finally chase Isaid Pena?
It was like 14. Alabama State uniforms, man.
Yeah,
The numbers.
the gold with the white numbers, a little hard to see. Venegas chops it towards the second baseman, Espelot, 1 away. Venegas now 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Well, it's not as bad as they were last night with the black numbers on the black and gold pinstripes.
Yeah, number 14's on the heel right now.
So that'll be Trey Power, the freshman left-hander, warming up for Alabama State. But it's still Pena in there now. Here's Jose Fernandez,
Now batting, number 44,
who had a 2
Jose
RBI
Fernandez.
double back in the 4th, scoring Jorge Rodriguez and Jesus Venegas. That put the Wildcats ahead 2-1 at the time. 0-1. Ground ball back up the middle. There's a base hit. Again, Jose Fernandez has been unbelievable. Last night he comes off the bench, gets a walk-off RBI single. Today, RBI double and a single.
I mentioned earlier that there's always somebody in Atlanta that picks these kids up. He's the guy right now with the hot bat. Everybody should rally behind what he's doing and his approach to the plate. And
Here's
that-
Jorge Gonzalez Fabo, singled in the 2nd, was caught stealing, then walked in the 4th and was stranded on 2nd.
I think we see another hit here. We might pull him.
Pena nowhere near his upper limit, even though he's approaching 80 pitches now. Inside corner, call a strike to Fabo. Most pitches thrown on the year was in a game against Mercer back on the 5th of March. 6 2/3 innings through 111 pitches. Gave up a run on 6 hits, struck out 8.
You know, Mercer plays FAMU and Alabama State. They play a lot of the northern teams. They don't come this far though. They don't come down south.
Well, Mercer's far enough south, being in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, in the Atlanta area. Macon, Georgia.
And a lot of teams will come to them. Fabo just gets a piece of it, and it's 0-2.
Well, Atlanta from Montgomery's not that far.
Nope. In fact, when we went to Montgomery or to Huntsville, to Alabama A&M for football last year, we drove through Atlanta.
Yeah, sure did.
We'll probably drive through Atlanta going to Birmingham in a couple weeks for the SWAC tournament. 0-2. Whoa! Pena lost it out of his hand. That gets to the backstop, an easy base for Fernandez, and now there's a runner on 2nd.
I've noticed something in his delivery. It's his left foot from the rubber. If he moves that left foot to the left or down the middle, he throws it wild. When he throws it on the across himself, that's when he's throwing strikes.
1-2 to Fabo. Now a runner in scoring position. Watches it low. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a good catch. And you say you need new eyes.
I do.
Now a 2-2 to Fabo.
I'll be dangerous when I'm 2020, boy. I see everything.
Pena trying to keep the game tied here. Fabo fouls it off at the plate.
That time his foot landed to the left of the rubber.
Be ready for football season.
Oh, man.
As the Gridiron Cats get back on the road. They play FIU first game up in August down in South Florida.
I think we were familiar with that coach, too.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Simmons, former FAMU coach, now the new coach down at FIU.
For the third time, we'll do the 2-2 to Fabo.
That's the breaking ball here.
He goes with a fastball, and it's fouled off almost into the glove of Santana, but he couldn't hold it. And Fabo gets another lease on life, and we'll do a 2-2 for the fourth time in this AB. These are the kind of ABs that you want to see, right? Long at-bats, make the pitcher work. And the longer the AB goes, the more in favor of the hitter it becomes statistically. Although that time, Fabo waves on one way outside and strikes out. I'll take responsibility for that, Jinx.
That's the breaking ball I was looking for in the last pitch. He gave him a fastball, though. Here comes Vasquez.
2 away in the inning, and that might be the end for Isaid Pena.
He's mad, too.
If this is the end for Pena, I mean, not a bad outing. 5 2/3 innings, 3 runs on 6 hits, struck out 6, and walked 3.
We'll see him tournament time.
Oh, yeah. We were talking last night, Bryce and I, about how stacked this tournament is about to become. You know, you go to one ladder, you do away with the East-West divisional split, and Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M, Alabama State, Grambling State, Texas Southern, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. That's your top 6. And guess what? That's been the Wildcats' schedule the back half of the conference season. They just play the 5 other top teams in the league back-to-back.
That's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah. But then you got Jackson State and Southern now all with 11 wins, clipping at Arkansas Pine Bluff's heels. Prairie View not out of it not out of it. The first team out with 7 wins. Valley 6 wins. Bama A&M and Alcorn are out of it. But it's going to be very interesting come tournament time. I don't think you really want to see anybody, especially if you're the 1 seed and you pull up in your first round games against Southern and one of the hottest hitters in the country, Cardell Thibodeau. Yeah, congratulations, you won the regular season. Here's the hot bat.
Yeah, those SWAC, the SWAC lineup, man, is very dangerous, man. Every team has a guy that you don't want to see. That Thibodeau kid, one of the hottest hitters, and you got the kid here at Alabama State that can hit the ball. Then, pick your poison. I'm anxious to see how we fare again if we ever get a matchup with Pine Bluff.
Alabama State will turn to the freshman Trey Power from Panama City Beach, Florida, and Bozeman High School.
Panama City, man, that's another time zone. He's from the central time zone.
Yep, all the way up on the Panhandle.
And it's not far from Montgomery.
On the year, 33 2/3 innings pitched for Power. He's got a 6.68 ERA. He's given up 29 runs on 49 hits, 25 of those 29 earned, striking out 25 and walking 24. He's allowed 5 doubles, 1 triple, 5 homers, 4 wild pitches. Once again, his ERA is 6.68. He's got a 2-2 win-loss record.
He's a 50-50 pitcher. He can be hot or he can be cold. Let's see what he brings to the mound here.
Well, he's a pitch-to-contact, ball-in-play pitcher.
Right.
His batting average against is all the way up at 358.
He's a middle relief guy.
Last time out against
nowhere near closing.
Last week against Texas Southern in a 4-3 loss. That was the Sunday game in that series. 2 2/3 innings, no runs on 2 hits, 1 strikeout. And then before that, he went in a midweeker against Troy, allowed 4 runs on 5 hits, all earned in an inning and a third.
Now batting number 2, Peter Polito.
3-3 tie here. Bottom 6. Go-ahead run is Jose Fernandez on second. Here's Jeter Poyeto, who struck out his first time up, then walked in the 4th.
That run that he gave up is on second base. Let's get it back right here.
Well, Fernandez, not the quickest guy in the world. You got to put it deep in the power alley for him to score from second.
Curveball.
Outside ball one from the lefty Power.
Center fielder's playing pretty deep. He's playing near the warning track.
Yeah. Power 5'10", stocky lefty. He'll work from the stretch with Fernandez on second. And spike one, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
Atlanta Braves had a pitcher back in the day named Mike Jarvis. They called him the Bulldog because he was 5'4". The Bulldog. He come in throwing hard, too.
Well, Edwin Sanchez, who started on the hill for the Wildcats in this game, just 5'7". And it doesn't matter if you're a pitcher.
Doesn't. If you compact, man, you get some good leverage out there.
2 balls, no strikes to Poyeto. Hasn't really gotten one in the zone yet.
There it
that
is.
One. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Now 2-1.
You see the approach now at the bat, how Johnny has them now taking pitches, and we're not first pitch swinging anymore.
I kind of wish we'd start games like that instead of having to be told 3/4 of the way through. 2-1 from Power. Spiked it again. Fernandez retreats back to second. So the 3 balls that Power has thrown has not been particularly close. And there was that one breaking ball strike. He might go back to that breaking ball.
That ball and the wind is blowing straight away center field, too.
Sergio Rivera awaits on deck if Poyeto is able to get on here.
You don't want to give him anything here. You might want to take one more.
3 balls, 1 strike. Outside ball 4. He did go back to the curve, but he missed with it. And now there's 2 on, 2 out. The batter is Sergio Rivera. Been a tough day at the plate for Sergio. Grounded out to third and flew out to right.
We're now at 2 hours into this game.
And another one to follow. I was talking to some of the players as I walked into the building this afternoon. I said, long day ahead.
It'll be graduation soon. They'll be playing baseball like it's minor league then. They'll just be
Ball
eating
gets
and
away. Runners will advance now second and third. And the Wildcats really have a shot now. Power.
Nobody in that bullpen for Alabama State.
It's up to Power to try and get out of this inning. But it's a whole mess of his own creation right now. He came in and walked Poyeto, and a wild pitch allowed Fernandez to go to third and Poyeto to go to second. That takes away the force as well in the middle infield. 1-0 to Rivera.
Little base hit up the middle.
Breaking ball slashes through the zone, strike 1. That's a really hard pitch to make contact on. It starts at your shoulders and ends at your ankles.
From a left-hander.
Gotta be careful on a wild pitch. Jose Fernandez could scamper home. We always talk about the long backstop here at the Jack. He goes with the bunt. Squeeze it, third base side. It will go foul. Oh, boy. Good idea from Rivera. But now he's down 1-2.
You got to blame the ground. No, you can't blame the ground.
That's true. It's turf.
Yeah. This is one of the first
multi-turf
multi-turf fields that they did.
I don't hate the idea because there was no way the third baseman, Parmentier, was going to get in that ball. He's playing deep. Trying to cut off anything that goes to the mid-infield.
So a breaking pitch right here in the dirt, man. Be careful for the strike 3.
1-2. Fastball just low. Oh, boy. That is not a pitch I would take if I was Sergio Rivera.
That was strike 3. Make him pay for that.
Coach Vasquez just said, was that low? And the umpire nodded. 2-2. Wildcats trying to jump back on top of a 3-3 ball game. Runner dancing over third. The pitch. Ground ball foul to third.
Now on a wild pitch with first base open and on a strike 3, he can run and we can still score a run.
Well, that happened to us against Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. I remember that. We wish we should have been out of there with the win, but a drop third strike wild pitch. That was the run that eventually came around to win the game.
Yeah.
2-2, 2 outs, second and third in a 3-3 ball game.
Protect the plate right here.
Power to Rivera deals. Ball 3. I don't think he's thrown a fastball for a strike yet. His best pitches have all been breaking balls.
You got to come with a fastball here.
3-2.
Or he's going to take Darrell Lee.
Rivera in the air, right field and shallow, racing in Douglas. He makes the catch, and the Wildcats strand a pair. The home run by Newton ties the game, but 2 left for the Cats, and we go to the 7th, tied at 3 here on the CatEye Network. Now this game is as tight as you can be. 3-3 going to the 7th, and a pivotal second game between Bethune-Cookman and Alabama State. The Wildcats won a wild one last night, 10-9 on a walk-off in the 9th. First pitch swinging ground ball up the middle from Alex Espelot, his first pitch hit of the game. And for the first time in a long time, I believe since the first inning. Yeah, since the first inning. Leadoff man aboard for Alabama State. They've been doing most of their damage with 2 outs.
Pedro down there warming up.
Now batting, number 28, Fabian Santana.
That's Yoancel Diaz I see down there.
Diaz, okay. I was thinking about Pedro Barbone.
Breaking ball to Fabian Santana. 0 for 2 with the fielder's choice, 2 ground outs to short for Santana, including maybe the most pivotal moment of the game when he grounded out with the bases loaded. He bunts it, foul, 1-1.
They're going small ball trying to get that runner down to second base.
I mean, they know 1 might be all they need. They do not want to go to the 9th either behind or tied.
But not with this team we got. Cardiac Cats.
1-1 from Lostra. There's the bunt. Right back. Go to second. Try and get the lead runner. They got him. Back to first. Double play! What a heads-up play from Lostra. And the middle infield turns a pair.
You get that to the grounds crew that time. They dusted right in front of home plate. That ball bounced right to the pitcher. That's the ground crew there. You saw the guy with the shovel earlier getting up at the little pebbles in front of home plate? Yeah.
Number 3,
Massive
McIntosh.
play for the Wildcats infield.
That could be a backbreaker.
Now 2 down. First pitch. Check swing ball 1 to Kyler McIntosh. He's 0 for 2 with a run scored, reached on an error, and the second came in on another error. Other than that, he's grounded out 2 times to the left-hand side of the infield, 1 to third, 1 to short. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. And every time we get to 2 outs,
That's when things get crazy.
that's when things have gotten out of hand for the Wildcats.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss by Lastra. McIntosh great in the field. He puts one in the air, shallow center. Venegas going back and calling off everybody is Rivera, who made a long run in to make the catch. Well, some stellar defense leads to a 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3. Let's see if we can get the bats going here on the CatEye Network. Top of the order due up for Bethune-Cookman here in the bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 game, but that's not as much of a blessing as you think it is. In the game, Darrell Lee and Andre Martinez, the top 2 in the order, are combined 0 for 5 with a walk.
But they're overdue. They both are overdue. So let's see what they do right here in the latter part of this first game.
Trey Power still on the hill and almost hits Lee in the head with his first pitch. I wouldn't imagine the leash is very long on Power after he barely escaped the bottom of the 6th, but nobody is up in the bullpen for Alabama State. Corners playing in. Lee watches one outside, 2-0.
He has a lazy delivery, and from the stretch he does. So if you get a runner on, you might be able to move a runner over. He's slow delivery to home plate from the stretch.
Well, they've been playing Lee into the shift. 3 balls, no strikes now as the fastball misses low. And Lee's hit into it once and popped it up twice.
He definitely should not be swinging on this pitch.
At 3-0 the count. And Lee and Martinez combined have had some ugly ABs today. Quick swinging, easy pop-ups,
well,
not working
just
counts.
Need that one swing.
That time Lee takes his strike on the outside corner, 3-1.
Take again. Martinez needs that one pitch where the wind's blowing now.
Yeah, I'd just like to see Lee punch it to the left-hand side where that big hole is open between the third baseman and the shortstop. And he does. Right to the shortstop. McIntosh from his knees. One hopper. In time. What a play by McIntosh. He has been unbelievable this series. A rock at shortstop.
Now batting, number 36.
So I give exclamation points in my scorebook for good plays, good defensive plays. That's his 3rd of the weekend already.
He's been stellar at shortstop.
Now here's Andre Martinez. Watches one down. That bounces over the plate.
Get one in the jet stream. Now is the time to try to hit one.
But I'd still like to see the Wildcats just try and choke up on the bat and drive them. And that last hit from Poyeta wasn't bad. He did exactly what I wanted him to, try and put one in the hole between short and third. But McIntosh has made a great play. That one at the knees, strike 1. Martinez 0 for 2 today with a walk, a pop out and a fly out. And he pops it up, foul out of play, 1-2.
That was in his wheelhouse, but it was a little bit inside.
Last night, 1 for 5 with 3 ground outs, a fly out, and an RBI double. One out, nobody on. Here's seventh inning in a 3-3 ball game. Powers misses low. And Powers almost is looking like Logan Work did, right? Struggling for command a little bit, but is doing enough to get out of these innings. 2-2. Punched out, up and away, strike three on the curveball.
Continues to struggle at the plate.
At one point, Andre Martinez was one of the hottest bats in the country, but not over the past couple of weeks. And now 2 outs. Here's Jorge Rodriguez, who's been terrific this weekend. 1 for 2. Single and a run scored back in the 4th. Hit by a pitch in the 1st, struck out in the 5th. Last night, 4 for 5 with 2 homers and 3 runs scored. Fastball inside, ball 1.
When you're a hot hitter and you don't change anything, it has to be physical. It has to be more mental than physical.
Baseball is more mental than physical. All the micro adjustments, all the things you have to worry about when you're facing a pitcher. You know, what is his pitch arsenal? You know, is he going high or low, fast or curve? You can teach things like bat speed and form. You can't teach the mental side of the game, or at least not to the extent that you can teach the physical side.
No, you can't. When you're the hottest hitter in the country, then you be cold for 2 weeks.
That one fouled off the ankle of Jorge Rodriguez. That one had to hurt. He'll walk it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. So the freshman from Panama City who got out of the last inning not allowing a run after putting 2 on, is 1 ball from getting a 1-2-3 in the 7th and sending the Hornets back to work.
They just had a fantastic jazz festival in Panama City. Huge, week-long jazz festival.
2-2 to Jorge Rodriguez. Rodriguez, line drive, left field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Jorge Rodriguez has been really good this weekend. That's his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Let's do it with 2 outs then.
And 6th hit of the series. And this is only game 2.
Comes the money.
Armani Newton left the yard in style into the construction behind the right field wall last time up on 1 pitch. But that was against Pena, now against Trey Power. Before that, Newton struck out twice. Strike caught the outside corner, big curve. Can the Wildcats strike with 2 outs here? Newton on the ground to first, fielded by Cruz. That's the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the 8th. Still 3-3 here on the CatEye Network. Yoancel Diaz takes over on the mound for the Wildcats as we go to the 8th. It'll be 8-9-1 for Alabama State. Devin Chandler will begin at the plate against the Wildcat closer, and that one's fouled away. We'll see if they call that a no pitch because the music will still playing, or it's 0-1. The scoreboard says 0-1. Strike outside corner, 0-2.
Yeah, he gave him the pitch even though the music was playing.
Yo-Yo Diaz working with a 4.61 ERA on the year. That one line to left on the curveball, base hit for Chandler. So 2 straight innings. The leadoff man aboard with a single for Alabama State. Yo-Yo Diaz was unbelievable through the first part of the year, but his last 2 appearances were kind of rough. Gave up the walk-off hit to Blake DeLamielleure against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. And then over last weekend against Arkansas Pine Bluff, just a third of an inning, gave up a run on 2 hits. It was unearned, but that was the walk-off for UAPB on that Friday night game. Fastball fouled away by Isaiah Landry. Landry 0 for 2, reached on an error in the second.
Alabama State's being aggressive at the plate right now.
But that Chandler single was one of the first times all year that I've really seen somebody sit back and drive that curveball that Yo-Yo has.
There it is.
That 12-6 curve drops in there for a strike. 0-2.
Yo-Yo got opportunity to play at the next level, man. This kid's a great pitcher.
And it's funny because he was brought into the program as a DH hitter.
Really?
Yeah, and then pinch ran his first couple years here. Got an opportunity out of the bullpen. Off the end of the bat in the air, sends Lee back, and Lee makes the catch. 1 away.
It's amazing what Johnny has done with some of these kids, man.
But even look at the last 2 years, right? 7.85 ERA in 2022, 7.54 in 2023. When he came in, basically in mop-up duty and really blowout games.
Then he's earned himself into a closing spot.
But last year in the tournament, 4 innings of scoreless ball with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And
that's when he did it.
That's when he kind of turned that mentality, that narrative about him around, and he's been the first choice closer for the Wildcats this year.
And he did it against University of Miami last year, too, down in Miami. That's when he really buckled down.
2 and 3 with a save. The record on the year for Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
That time a breaking ball. 0-2 the count. The 1 save came against Florida A&M over in Sanford. Middle game of that series, the 5-2 win for the Wildcats. Correction, the count is 1-1. Fastball, fouled away. Now it's 1-2.
Now look for this arsenal of breaking pitches.
Chandler on first after a leadoff single. This is Agosto, who led off the game with a double. Since then, 2 ground outs and a walk. The 1-2 from Yo-Yo. In the dirt, didn't get a bite at the curveball, 2-2.
He has a couple of different kind of curveballs, too.
Yeah.
So that was his waist pitch curveball.
The cloud's starting to roll in here about 4:25 on Saturday afternoon.
We need rain, man. It hasn't rained so long.
2-2. Curveball again, right back to Yo-Yo. They go to second for 1. No! Foot was off the base from Venegas. The throw by Yo-Yo was a little high.
Yeah, he lobbed it to second base.
And the Wildcat infield has turned into a nightmare today.
If he just drilled that thing to second base, man, and it's just double play.
So Agosto on fielder's choice. Chandler to second.
Here come a hot bat here.
And here's Juan Cruz, who started 0 for 3 but had an RBI single in the 6th. Slow chopper, left-hand side of the mound. They go to first. The pick at first by Fernandez is fantastic.
2 down. The runners at second and third now.
And but that should have been the end of the inning if they get the out at second. And now the umpires are going to talk about maybe if Fernandez was off the bag at first.
You want to talk with Vasquez.
But none of these are ever overturned. We don't have replay here. That was a bit of a rough throw by Diaz over to first. You could tell he was still thinking about that play at second. But Fernandez made a great stretch. Now everybody's going to get together and talk about it. Coach Vasquez not happy. But here's the man you would want up in a situation like this if you're Alabama State, Cameron Douglas. 1 for 3, a walk and a single for Cameron Douglas, but last night had 5 RBI.
Out at first.
Again.
Yeah, there's no replay.
I'm not sure they can overturn. I mean, there's no replay unless both the other umpires said, no, you're incorrect, which the other 2 umpires aren't looking there. They're looking at their respective assignments. So 2 away.
They put him on.
And they're going to put on Douglas. So bases loaded. Chandler to third. Agosto to second. And the batter is Luke Parmentier.
Now batting, number 10, Luke Parmentier.
Parmentier, 2 walks, a single, and a strikeout today.
Just get a nice ground ball for the out.
For the second time in the game, Bama State has the bases loaded, chance to take the lead with 2 outs. They had that chance in the 5th, and they were shut down by Robert Lastra.
Parmentier has 18 base on balls. Only a few RBIs. 17 RBIs.
0-1 from Yo-Yo. Fastball upstairs. And again, in this situation, got to be so careful. Can't put one to the backstop. Can't walk him. Got to be looking for that either a strikeout or weak contact here. Swing and a miss out ahead of the curveball. He has a strike away from getting out of the 8th.
Here's a huge pitch, folks. Wildcat fans are on their feet.
Biggest pitch of the game. The 1-2 to Parmentier. In the air, right center. Martinez racing over. He makes the catch! Full speed, and for the second time in the game, the Hornets strand the bases loaded without getting a run. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 3, game in the balance here on the CatEye Network. Well, the BCU offense or defense holds again. Strands the bases loaded for Alabama State for the second time in the game without allowing a run. It's still 3-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Jesus Venegas leads off, ground ball to short. You know McIntosh has got that one covered. 1 pitch, 1 out. I kind of wish we'd stop hitting ground balls over to McIntosh. He's been unbelievable.
Jose Fernandez.
Now here's another guy that's been unbelievable. Jose Fernandez had the pinch hit walk-off single last night and is 2 for 3 with a single and a double in this game. Had the 2 RBI double in the 4th that scored Rodriguez and Venegas to put the Wildcats ahead at that point 2-1, which ended up being caught out at home on a great throw by the right fielder Douglas as he tried to extend the lead. 0-1. Trey Powers still on the hill for Alabama State. And then in the 6th, he singled up the middle, reached third on 2 wild pitches, and was stranded there. 1-1 off the end of the bat, foul into the third base dugout. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Jose Fernandez, who's increased his season average to an even 400 on the year. But he pops that one up on the infield. First baseman Cruz makes the play, and there's quickly 2 away. The Wildcat bats have a tendency to just go ice cold and have long stretches and innings and innings and innings where they just get nothing. But every so often they explode like they did in the 7th last night for 5 runs. But it's come at an inopportune moment today where you just cannot put this Bama State team away. Ground ball to third, first pitch swinging, handled by Parmentier. 1, 2, 3 go the Wildcats, and we go to the 9th, still tied at 3 here on the CatEye Network. We go to the 9th. Still tied at 3. Middle of the order due up for Alabama State. Here's Alex Espelad. First pitch from Yo-Yo Diaz, breaking ball low, ball 1.
You know, these two teams, man, you wouldn't expect anything different. You know, you had 9-9 last night, you win 10-9, and you got 3-3 here.
Off the inside of the bat, little bloop single to center field. 3 straight innings with a leadoff single for Alabama State.
They've stranded a ton of runners, though.
They've stranded 13 in the game.
Double play ball here. They're gonna bunt. I bet you they're gonna try to go small ball
Yeah,
here.
because all they need is 1 and then a shutdown inning, and they're out of here with a win and go to Game 3 of the series. Corners are playing in. Here's Fabian Santana. Squares to bunt. Takes a strike. Santana, 0 for 3. 2 ground outs to short and hit into a double play in the 7th. Other than that, reached on a fielder's choice in the 3rd.
Curveball is huge here when you're trying to bunt.
0-1, here's the bunt. Foul, first base side, now 0-2.
See, he threw that curveball that came on the outside part of the plate, and he fouled it to the right side.
Because when you're bunting, you got to reach out for it and push that ball foul.
So Yo-Yo threw the perfect pitch for the bunt. Now you want to get the strikeout.
Oh, 2. Duancel Diaz ahead in the count.
I wonder why the ruling is if you bunt on a 3rd strike and you miss, you're out. I guess somebody must have done it 10 times.
Yeah,
and
because you
got
could
tired.
you could protect the plate like that. It's to prevent you from fouling off an infinite amount of time.
There you go.
1-2.
Foul,
He
he's
tried
out.
to bunt on strike 3, and he's out.
Yeah.
That's a risky decision right there. Now 1 away. Here's Connor McIntosh. 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a pop out to shallow center.
But his glove has been the love of the game.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable this week with the glove. And a timeout called by Coach Vasquez here. There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcuathletics.com/championsclub. That's bcuathletics.com/championsclub. Support the Wildcats like never before. Bethune-Cookman Athletics has partnered with Influxer to bring you officially licensed co-branded NIL merchandise featuring your favorite Wildcats names and numbers. Proceeds from each purchase directly support Wildcat student athletes. Show your support for your favorite Wildcats today at bcuathletics.com/NIL merch.
Got a feeling they're going to put them running in motion, trying to
Take away the double play.
take double play and put some pressure on the defense.
Yo-Yo deals inside. Ball 1 to McIntosh. Well, Kyler McIntosh did have a home run last night, a laser beam over the left field wall down the line. That wall down there is 317. It might have gone 320. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. There's the throw. Oh, they had him if the ball didn't bounce off the glove of Venegas.
I figured they were going to try that.
So Espelot steals second. The go-ahead run. Now in scoring position.
Now there's pressure on the defense now.
Well, there's been pressure all game. Strand 13 runners. There's been runners on base pretty much every time. Only 2 innings in this ball game have Alabama State not stranded a runner on base. 1-1. Fastball low, 2-1. When Diaz comes over the top with that fastball, he's either getting a swing or he's going to miss it low.
Breaking ball. Grounded to the shortstop.
2-1. Breaking ball, ground ball. Charging is Poyeto. He fires across, and the pick is there by Fernandez. But hold on a moment. Oh, no, they're just changing balls to the pitcher. So there are 2 away. Go-ahead run 90 feet away. The batter is Devin Chandler.
You got that breaking ball, just like I said, to the shortstop.
Yep.
Now let's do it again.
Number 44, Devin Chandler.
No pass balls here.
Go-ahead run 90 feet away in the form of Alex Espelot. Devin Chandler, who has 2 hits tonight. Fastball up and in, ball 1. Chandler flew out to center in the 2nd, singled and was picked off in the 4th, walked and scored in the 6th, singled in the 8th.
There you go.
There's a strike on the curve.
Now you can work your 2 different breaking balls now.
One upstairs with the fastball. He's got that traditional 12-6 curve that breaks straight down. Then he's got more of a swerve slider curve that will break away from righties. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fastball hit in the air on the infield. Poyeto calling for it. Poyeto's got it. The Wildcats strand more Hornet runners, and they go to the bottom of the 9th with a chance to win, tied 3-3 here on the CatEye Network.
Great piece of pitching.
Bottom 9. Here we go. Tied at 3, first game of our doubleheader today at Jackie Robinson Ballpark. For the first time since very early on, the sun is peeking through the clouds here in Central Florida.
I think the wind has kind of blown that whatever that was coming in out of here. Be nice for JP to just get on base.
Yeah, Poyeto 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Swings to the first pitch and dribbles it to first, 1 away. Yikes.
First pitch swinging.
You know Poyeto wanted some redemption after his 2 errors allowed the first run of the game to score, and as you know,
That's
if we get out of that inning, the Wildcats are winning the game right now. Now it's Sergio Rivera here. Rivera 0 for 3, 2 flyouts to right and a ground out to third. 1 away in the 9th. The pitcher is still Trey Power, who has come in and locked the Wildcats down. And he forces Rivera to pop it up on the infield. And it's dropped off the glove of Cruz, and the Wildcats have the winning run aboard. My goodness. First error of the game for Alabama State, and it's a big one.
Like Bruno Mars says, leave the door open. Here comes Mr. D. Lee.
Well, Darrell Lee is 0 for 4. And Vasquez going out to talk with his pitcher, freshman Trey Power. That ain't his fault.
No. And the first baseman kept waving his arms like he didn't really see it. He was like, where is it? Where is it? You know, and they thought he was calling everybody off. I don't think he saw it.
And I think this is just Vasquez talking to the infield more than the pitcher as everybody gathers.
Because there's 1 down. Opportunity for the Cats to put somebody in motion, too.
Yeah. If I was Darrell Lee here,
be smart,
do
man.
you think they go with maybe try and squeeze a bunt?
Why not? Down the third base side. He has the speed.
Try to get to first, and if not, you get a speedy guy in Rivera to second who could score on a base hit because Andre Martinez is up next.
I would definitely lay 1 down with this kid here. He's the perfect person to be at the plate.
We'll see if the defense for Alabama State plays bunt. The third baseman, Parmentier,
but he's off the line, though.
Is playing in. Darrell Lee 0 for 4 in the ballgame. He takes a first pitch breaking ball strike. And really, Lee's not had that great of a series. 0 for 4 tonight, 1 for 5 last night.
Third baseman moves over a couple of steps now.
Poyeto punches it foul, 0-2. Or correction, Lee punches it foul, 0-2. Score update from Texas Southern and Southern. Southern won 16-15 last night. It's 5-4 in the top of the fifth right now out in Texas. Texas Southern leading that one. Lee calls for time. Stands back in. Power gets Lee to foul it off right at home plate.
We haven't seen the pitch clock strike call in tonight.
We saw it once last night. It was called a ball because the pitcher was not ready.
Okay.
37 pitches now for Power.
But that'll erase him from the second game.
Well, but, he's pitched up, in the 70s and 90s
He might.
this year. There is some work going on in the Bama State bullpen, but I think this is Powers to either win or lose here in the ninth. 0-2 against Lee. Lee stays alive.
This is kind of at bat you like, because you said if you continue to foul it off, it works in the favor of the hitter, right?
In theory, yes, but then I said that earlier and Andre Martinez ended up striking out.
As long as he don't throw that curveball in the dirt and he swings at it.
0-2. Curveball in the dirt. Swung on, and there it goes to right field and deep. Back, track, wall, it's caught. And they're going to double off Sergio Rivera at first, who had come all the way around, and we're going to extra innings. Oh, Darrell Lee missed a walk-off home run by inches, and we go to the 10th, tied at 3. Heartbreak for the Wildcats, but we play on in game one of this doubleheader.
Wow.
Here we go to the 10th. The Wildcats missing a game-winning home run by an inch to right field by Darrell Lee. And we play on in the first of our doubleheader here at the Jack today. And this really hurts the Wildcats, who've been struggling with pitching. Lots of injuries. Yo-Yo Diaz back out for his third inning of work. First pitch breaking ball strike to Isaiah Landry. Landry reached on an error in the second. Fly out, strikeout, fly out, the other three ABs for Isaiah. Landry fouled it off third base side, 0-2. Landry last night was the leadoff hitter and was 0 for 5 with a walk. So he hasn't had a great series either.
Got him.
Got him, swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, throw down to first, complete the K.
We need a 1-2-3 inning right here to try to corral some of that momentum that we had in the bottom of the inning. Try to savor some of it.
You talk about an Alabama State team that through 9 innings left 14 on base and only scored 3.
That's usually BCU stat.
5 of those 14 were stranded on third. And now we got the top of the order, Kelvin Agosto.
Curveball.
Missed it inside. Agosto doubled to lead off the game in the first, then grounded out twice, walked and scored in the 6th, and reached on a fielder's choice in the 8th. There's a strike, 1-1. This is a long appearance for Yo-Yo Diaz. His most pitched on the season is 44 against Jackson State up in Mississippi. Fastball strike, down the middle, 1-2.
This is the game we need to win right here, so you go with him.
And there's nobody throwing in the Wildcat bullpen. They can't afford to throw anybody else. Got to save them all for game 2. In the dirt, didn't get a swing. 1-2.
Yo-Yo's
sorry, 2-2.
His hat stand on today. What, he got a haircut? Or you got a bigger hat?
That was 44 pitches, his longest outing of the season so far. He's at 37 right now. Outside, missed with the sweeper. 3 balls, 2 strikes. What do you got, Yo-Yo?
Curveball right here, 3-6. Swing and miss.
Juan Cruz is on deck. Fouled away. He went with a 12-6 curve in on the hands. Long wait.
I come with the same pitch again. His fastball is not finding the zone.
He went with the fastball, and it's chopped right back to him. The underhand to first, 2 away. And now here's Juan Cruz. The national leader in hits. 85 hits on the year.
Juan Cruz.
He's just 1 for 5 tonight. 3 groundouts, a fly out, and a single. An RBI single in the 6th. Diaz deals, low and away, ball 1. This next pitch for Yuanzo will be his 45th, his longest outing of the season.
Curveball over.
Needs 1 out to bring the Wildcats to bat in the 10th. Low, ball 2.
You can see the grip out of his glove that he was overthrowing that pitch.
Everybody's nervous, right, with Cruz in the batter's box. There's one mistake, and this game could be all but over. Cruz in the air to center. Sending Rivera chasing, but he's got it. And we go to the 10th. Wildcats another chance to walk it off. Can they finally get a series win on the CatEye Network? Stay tuned. To the bottom of the 10th we go. The Wildcats will lead it off with Andre Martinez. Andre Martinez, who's 0 for 3 with a walk tonight.
Manager of the Yankees and the Red Sox, huh?
Andre Martinez.
This game here, man. this series.
I would not be surprised if these two teams meet
For the
championship in about a month up in Birmingham, Alabama.
So some of these at-bats and some of the stuff we're seeing now is crucial.
0-1 after a foul away by Martinez, who walked in the first, popped up on the infield in the third, flew out to center in the fifth, and struck out looking in the seventh. That went in the dirt. Remember right when Trey Power came in and he was wild and he was throwing stuff away, wild pitches and all that, and we thought, oh, he's not long for this game. He settled in and just knuckled down and allowed one hit in 3 innings of work. He came in the bottom of the 6th. He's still going to the 10th at just under 50 pitches. Remember, we'll re-rack it and do it again after this game for game 2 of our doubleheader, 2-1. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. I think if Martinez gets on here via the walk or a single or what have you, I think they'll put a faster guy on to pinch hit for him or pinch run for him. They did that last night and it worked out. 3 balls, 1 strike. Martinez, laser beam left side. That's going to 2-hop the wall. Martinez digging for second. Here comes the throw. He is safe. Leadoff man aboard with a double. That was a big AB by Andre.
Both guys kind of injured themselves on that slide. The second baseman, the shortstop.
That was a hard slide.
McIntosh fell over the runner.
I would not be surprised if we see a pinch runner here for Andre Martinez. Here he comes. It's Daniel Figueroa.
Cats with opportunity right here with a duck on the pond, nobody out. And you got some good bats coming to the plate. I'm looking at this weather.
Daniel Figueroa, who scored the winning run last night as a pinch runner, has the chance to do so today. The batter is Jorge Rodriguez. Now, Daryl, I want to pose a question to you as we've got a meeting on the mound, and this might be the end for Power as there's a lefty warming up in the bullpen. Do you let Jorge Rodriguez swing away? He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles tonight. Or do you have him bunt Figueroa over to third, so with Newton coming to the plate behind him, so anything on the outfield wins you the game?
Yeah.
You bunt him?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to sacrifice the bat right here for the win.
But now you're putting all the pressure on Newton,
yeah,
who's 1 for 4. He did have
but
that
this
home
kid's
run.
been swinging free all day, man.
Yeah, he's been good and all series. But he's
I'll say let him swing away with no outs.
He's 6 for 11 in the series.
Let him swing away. There's no outs. If he hit a ball out in the outfield, it could be a sacrifice fly, and you didn't waste, and you waste, and that's still you're out.
There's not much worry of a double play with Figueroa on second.
There's nobody on first, right? So I would let him swing. They're going to walk him. They're going to intentionally walk him.
Well, set up the double play. I think that's smart. Hottest bat, set up the double play, walk him. And to get to Armani Newton, it's going to be Irvin Escobar to pinch hit for Armani Newton. Armani Newton, who is number 4 on the hardest to strike out list in NCAA Division I baseball.
Say it again.
Number 4 on the hardest to strike out list.
That's Irv?
In all of Division I baseball.
Okay.
Irvin Escobar.
Okay. That's a good bat then in the lineup.
Newton replaced Escobar last night. Had a 2 RBI double. He'll square to bunt. He'll put it down left-hand side of the infield. They'll go to first, and the job is done by Escobar. Now the winning run is Figueroa 90 feet away.
Good move.
And the batter is Jesus Venegas.
Only 1 down. There are no forces. Runners at second and third.
2 of the last 3 weeks, Jesus Venegas has been the SWAC hitter of the week. He's 1 for 3 with a fielder's choice today.
They're going to put him on.
And another intentional walk to get to Jose Fernandez. Oh boy, here we go. The walk-off hero last night is at the plate in the exact same situation this afternoon.
Who would have thunk it?
Martinez, well, Figueroa pinch running for Martinez on third.
Would you bunt again here?
No. With
all right.
one out and the hottest bat in your lineup at the plate.
As long as you don't ground into a double
play, yeah.
A fly ball will win it.
Last night in the exact same situation in the ninth in a tie game, Jose Fernandez grounded one to the left-hand side that got through, and that was the end of the game. He's up in the exact same spot in the first game of the doubleheader here in the 10th. My goodness, how history repeats itself.
This is if I can read lips.
Tight huddle behind the first base line as everybody's in there talking. Derek Cartaya, the hitting and base running coach, is doing most of the talking right now.
I like Cartaya, man. He's a fiery guy, man. He gets these guys where they're supposed to be.
Head coach material one day,
absolutely.
Derek Cartaya.
He won't be with us long.
And we say that in a good way, right?
Yeah. Just like the other guy who's at Missouri.
Carballo, yeah.
Yeah.
Here
Carballo.
we go. Jose Fernandez.
Watch the line drives.
Against Trey Power. Bases loaded, 1 out, 10th. This is the best chance the Wildcats are going to get. Fernandez watches one low. A walk wins you the game. A wild pitch likely wins you the game.
A deep fly ball.
Anything on the outfield.
Because the outfielders are playing in.
And you got the speedy Daniel Figueroa on third base who could tag and score on a fly ball. 1-0. Popped him up on the infield. That's what you couldn't have happen. Espelot makes the catch, 2 outs, and the batter is Jorge Gonzalez Fabo. Oh, no. Fabo tonight, singled in the second, was caught stealing, walked in the fourth, struck out in the sixth, grounded out to third in the eighth. Here we go. This is the kind of situation you dream about as a kid, right? Bases loaded, tie game, extra innings. Fabo, grab ball in the middle, there it is! For the second straight game, the Wildcats walk it off! This one belongs to the maroon and gold! The hero is the sophomore, Jorge Gonzalez Fabo, and the Wildcats win the series!
Your Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 4.
Incredible, man. These cardiac kids, man. The Cats come in shorthanded in pitching. The starting pitcher comes out with a tightness in his forearm in the second inning. So the bullpen game, but the bats are the Wildcats. They bring them back to win it 4-3, another walk-off. These kids been walking off all year.
The 5th walk-off win for Bethune-Cookman on this season. Crazy stuff. They almost had it in 9 with Darrell Lee's home run.
About 30 minutes for the next game.
30 minutes. Some folks are asking us what game 2 started. It's about 30 minutes from now. So we got to wrap up and get ready for game 2. We'll talk to Coach Hernandez, of course, after game 2. No post-game interview here on the first game of the doubleheader. But man, oh man, this is the kind of, it felt like a playoff game. I turned to you during one of the in-between innings and said, this feels like a playoff game.
Well, the rest of the season is like a playoff for us. Even though we hold a 3-game lead, actually we hold a 4-game lead now on Alabama State.
And a 3-game lead on FAMU.
FAMU, yeah. And we have the tiebreaker against FAMU, so we just need to get some guys healthy.
The Wildcats win the series. They walk it off for the second straight time, 4-3. Your final line score of this one, Bethune-Cookman, 4 runs on 9 hits. They committed 3 errors and left 7 on base. Alabama State, 3 runs on 8 hits. They committed 1 error and left 14 on base.
14, yeah. That's the key of the game.
On base.
That's the difference in this game.
And that's clutch pitching,
14
getting
runners,
clutch
man.
outs when it matters, right?
And I think that we dodged the bullet here.
Oh, yeah. And now, you know.
Opportunity to sweep.
Opportunity to sweep. You're not favored for it. I'm going to say that right now because the pitching is completely depleted. We'll see who you got and who's going in the third game. But, you know, come out and swing the bats and see where that gets you.
Absolutely.
We'll see you in about 30 minutes for
I'm going to
Game
get a
3
meal, man.
of this series. We got to get some food, get some drinks, and we'll be back talking to you in about half an hour here on the CatEye Network. Once again, the Wildcats take it 4-3. We'll be back for Game 3 of this series in just a moment here on the CatEye Network.